is Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
I'm not
Morning.
Will Washington.
Not Will Washington. We are here. It is Saturday. I feel like my hearing is still off. I don't know if it's just me, but like, I don't know. You have those moments where your sinuses are draining, so it's like I can hear really well out of one ear, and then out of nowhere I can hear very well out of both ears. It's very disorienting. But nonetheless, we are here. We do an audio podcast. We do a visual podcast. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Of course, Righteous Reg is with me as well. And we got the big homie Cresta in the building, who we just happened to see in person last week.
We did.
Period. It was a connection of sorts. The superpowers united for one day only, and then we never saw each other again.
That's kind of what the game is like at Mania weekend, Cresta. It's like you catch up with your friends the amount of time that you can, because you might not never see them again. But it was great to see Cresta. Iridian was also out there. The Low, like the whole gang was out there having a great time. There was a dance off, I think, at one point. There was a lot going on at Wale Mania, really good times. So thank you again for joining us today, Cresta. I know what the game is like. You told us about your Friday night. So, you know.
Bro, I'm out here. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So if y'all just see me disconnect, it's because I passed away in 4K.
Passing away in 4K. But yeah, we're out here. It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. What a dumb week this has been. Before I got onto the podcast, rest in peace to Rico Wade, one part of Organized Noise. I'm just tired of waking up to.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, today, Philip Lindsey.
I literally
Rico
just
Wade.
saw that on Twitter.
Yeah.
1/3 of Organized Noise, Organized Noise is so important to hip hop history. Like, if I were to pick, they're like, 5 albums in hip hop history. Who would you pick? What would you pick? Like ATLians, I would play that. Like, that's on mine, like 100%. And he used such an inaugural, important role in that, and in just like the brainchild of Organized Noise and getting all the deals together and just being that kind of figurehead to that. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Terrible news. Rest in peace to Rico Wade. Organized Noise just had that documentary, I believe it was on Netflix not too long ago. They talked about just like their input on so many Southern acts, Outkast, so many rap groups. I mean, TLC and some of the other acts they worked with. So yeah, rest in peace to Rico
Future.
Wade. Yeah, also Future.
Damn, he was working. That man's like
Goody Mob, Dungeon Family. Yeah, he's all over everything.
I respect it.
Yeah, also rest in peace to New York legend Mr. C that came out this week as well.
Wait, DJ Mr. C died?
Yeah,
Yes.
he passed away.
That's
You
my
didn't know
child.
that?
Oh my god, yo, I'm
Your childhood, Cresta. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that
Right.
popped up on the timeline a few days ago. I saw Rosenberg talking about it, and I was just like, wait a minute, what? And then I went and Googled it, and it was real, and I was like, dang.
Like Biggie was discovered by this guy. Like, there would be,
Yeah, DJ Mr. C is. That's like if DJ Who Kid died, you'd be like, yo, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Just a second. Don't do that. Don't do
Right.
that. You know what I mean? Like, knock on wood. I don't wish that on him, but that's a legend right there. Damn, rest in peace.
It's this week I'm like getting older is crazy, and like hip hop continues to show me like, damn, our legends like don't really get that old, and so this is just crazy, you guys.
Yeah. Appreciate all of their contributions to hip hop music, R&B music, and all the other things that they helped with. Rest in peace to those two gentlemen. We also got more in the ever changing soap opera around Aubrey Graham, Drake. Yeah, we got the J. Cole diss track last week.
Yep.
And I was excited. We got on the podcast and we talked about it. I was like, man, we're off to the races. Less than a week later, J. Cole is apologizing. And, if that wasn't enough for you, then he hopped on the Future and Metro Boomin record.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not that abreast with what's going on with hip hop beef. However, J. Cole releasing a diss record and apologizing as a light skin, that was very light skin of you. I can say
Apologizing and then jumping on the Ops next album within the same week. I was like, wait a minute.
that's very light skin. That was
What's happening here?
I was out of
What?
pocket, but actually, bow, bow, bow.
What is going on here? I'm so not caught up. Like Phil, exactly. When we were there, when this song dropped, and we were like, "Yeah, this is dope. I like this. This is good. Nothing crazy. Some good energy." And then during WrestleMania is going down. Everybody's having this great time. Cody Rhodes wins the big one. I'm like, "Yeah, this is amazing." Like, yeah, celebrating. I'm up, jumping in the hotel room. Like, yeah, Cody, let's go. I go on the internet and they're like, J. Cole apologizes for diss, and I'm like, nah, maybe this has to be a bit. Somebody's doing like
Where's the community notes? Where the community notes?
Yeah, where's the community notes? Like SNL did a bit or something. Nah, go on here. J. Cole has a 4-minute monologue on why this diss track was the right idea. And so I'm just devastated. Like, Cody, I'm the highest of highs. And then J. Cole sends me the lowest of the lows. I'm like, why do hip hop and wrestling always do this to me? They just hate me. They can never like collaborate and have a good time. It's like, if one's high, one has to be super low. So I'm like waiting for Philip Lindsey to get back from WrestleMania, because I'm like, I don't even want to talk about Cody. As soon as he gets out, I'm like, Phil, did you see this J. Cole thing? What happened here?
I
don't know what happened here.
I still look at it like I was disappointed as somebody that just wanted the raps, like that. But if this is just how he felt, that this didn't feel like the right move for him, he felt like he was pressured into doing it, then by all means, don't do something you don't want to do.
But where is Drake in this? Because then to get like, all right, like, okay, you apologize.
Where's Drake?
Yeah, where's Drake?
But not you sounding like Dave Chappelle. Where's Ja? Where's Drake and all of this? I need Drake.
Where is he?
But yeah, to do that and be like, this just don't feel right on my soul. And then we look up and the sequel to the Metro Boomin album that started all of this comes out, and you're on that album.
You're on it.
Like, wait a minute.
Wait,
what's happening?
On it? Like, I'm like, what do you text J. Cole? Like, wait, you're on there? Like, there's no way.
He had to apologize right quick. He knew what was up.
But why would he apologize when he knew this was coming? Like, you got to stand on business at this point
and hide the hand.
I was confused by all these developments, and we also got more people that are joining the He-Man We Hate Drake Club, because Weeknd hopped on there and he had some bars for Drake as well. He was getting his shots off. I was like, dang, this guy has a lot of enemies out here. Got a lot of enemies.
It's true. It's a true song. But the Weeknd, there's always been like that bubbling. People are like, oh, Drake stole a bunch of Weeknd records to make his own and blah, blah, blah. And the role that he played. And Drake never really, he gives it up to the Weeknd, but he never gives it up as much as people think he should. So I'm down with Abel getting in the booth and being like, nah, bro, what's up?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's his experience. He said on there, glad I didn't sign my life away. I was like, I don't know, man. We've heard stories about OVO stuff and how, a lot of them artists don't get the shine that they should, and it's just really just Drake, which happens with a lot of these rapper, what do you call it, record labels, where the head rapper on it is getting a lot of shine. Now, a lot of these guys are just kind of there to be like feature artists for them.
That's why they got to give it up to Hove, because like I feel like Rockefeller, they probably felt in the moment like Hove's giving everything, but like we could name like the whole Rockefeller roster right now because of the figurehead thing that Hove did. You know what I mean? Like in OVO, I'm like, name 2 OVO are like The Weeknd and like.
Yeah, man. Listen, Big made Bill, Dame made Bill. Beans to tell you if he wasn't in the feelings.
I'm saying.
Which speaking of, I just cannot get past. We've had great moments at Wale Mania, but being in Philly and screaming at the top of my lungs all of the words to what we do
Yeah, big time.
doesn't get much better than that, man.
Mm-hmm. I did think these moments, like they collaborate with hip hop and wrestling, like I was talking about earlier. And Wale Mania, we've been to a few of them, and we've had some great times seeing a bunch of friends. But like moments like this are crazy. I think back to my first Wale Mania in New York, and I pull up, and it's the guys that are fighting on the subways, the Bret Hart and the Kane, and all those guys there on the stage just going crazy. And at one point, Griselda performed like that. There was so much going on. I'm like, oh yeah. And then like Griselda was there. And like that memory is just so crazy. And like now it's like I have another one of like we're in Philly, a bunch of friends are here. We're having like the best time. And then we get to hear one of the greatest Philadelphia hip-hop songs of all time with Beanie Siegel and Philadelphia Freeway on the stage with 150,000 people also on the stage with them too.
BC in the place to BC because I got what it takes to rock the mic right
Come
here.
on.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that stage didn't break though.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on that stage. But yeah, Philly trip was a lot of fun. Spent a lot of time with my friend. I got to see a lot of wrestling. Got to go to a Stardom show, which was a blast. Got to go to Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor was great. Both nights of WrestleMania were a good time. One was better than the other. We'll get into that. Yeah, Raw was Raw. I've never been to a Raw after Mania, so I was excited. And yeah,
you had the whole experience. I was gone Sunday. I said, I gotta go back to New York.
I walked out. I walked out of Raw not as excited as when I walked in, but it's cool.
Wow, I watched SmackDown last night, and it was so much better. Like that
SmackDown was way better.
They should have did that on Monday.
Yeah.
He said you should have did whatever you did on Friday instead of whatever the fuck that was on Monday.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. It was a lot of grandstanding on Monday. If that's your thing, cool. But yeah, it was cool. Me and Reg went to the heralded,
I've been telling everybody about this. It's the funniest part of the trip.
We went to the heralded Philadelphia Art Museum and the Rocky statue, and I did not know that we were going to a shrine for one of the greatest fighters of all time. Even though this man is a fictional character, he's not a real person. This was one of the wildest things I've seen on this trip. Of people, like, it almost felt like they were making this pilgrimage to Philadelphia just to see this. You had to see it, Krista. There were people like at the bottom of the stairs, like getting themselves hyped up, snatching their shirts off. Yes,
Rocky,
getting themselves hyped up, doing the shadow boxes, snatching their shirts off, and then running up the stairs with their shirts off to the Rocky theme. It was wild. I was like, yo. I was like, all right. Like when we did the stairs, like we walked up and did the view and looked around, and I was looking around at other people up there, and I was just like, yo, Rocky is serious business, bro. Like, hold on.
Wow. When the old dude took his shirt off, I was like, all right, hold on. What's going on here? Homie runs up full speed. Rocky songs
full
playing
speed, bro.
On a cell phone. He gets to the top star shadow box, and I'm like, all right, you guys.
But then
he's not the last one. No, listen, Kristen. You would think that was it. No, and then like back to back, it's like 9 after 10 people doing the same thing, running up the stairs with the song, shadow box, doing the thing at the top. I'm like, no, Rocky is serious business around here, Phil. We can't talk crazy about Rocky.
Listen, man.
Y'all would have been lit if y'all had the boom box just playing that music in the background. Y'all would have been the littest too right there. Like, yo, I get it. They get it.
It was crazy. And I love the Rocky movies, man. Big fan of Rocky movies. The first night I got there, I had a Clubber Lang shirt on because, of course, I had to represent Southside Brawler, Mr. T, absolute legend. But yeah, I was not expecting to get there and see people, like, I don't know, getting their cardio in. I was just like, okay,
it's
cool.
So funny because like we went up the stairs, but like we like had our bags and like we weren't like we didn't like disrobe and take all shirts off and shit. I was like, all right, bro, like what's going on here?
Yeah, and yeah, to True Monger's point, there is no Joe Frazier statue. Joe Frazier statue.
Like they have a real
in
boxer
Philadelphia.
that really
Joe-
did something.
Joe Frazier is a real person, bro. They've
But they're
got
like,
the
nah.
they got the big Rocky statue up there. People are doing and like giving tribute to Rocky and like saying their prayers at the bottom of the statue. I'm like, yo, what is happening, bro? Like,
Like, why are you on one knee right now? Something is
this is
going
some
down.
wild shit, bro. But man, it was a great experience. I wanted
It was.
to absolutely see the Rocky statue. I wanted to see the steps and everything. It was cool. I just didn't expect people to be doing all that, man.
Yeah, it was a lot going on, but it was really cool to see that statue, man. And there's a lot of history in, Philadelphia and that specific area that we're in. So really dope to just kind of experience that. But yeah, insanely funny also at the same time. Like there's people doing like sit-ups and push-ups at the bottom too. I'm like, yo, what are y'all sure?
Yo,
But I mean, if that's how you get inspired, right?
I guess the New York in me is coming out because I just would have been like walking about the whole time. People gonna look at me like, why are you being that way?
You guys got to think though. Also, we're at WrestleMania weekend. There are people from all over the world here experiencing this. So they're like, we need the full experience. And me running up these rocky stairs and throwing a couple punches is that experience.
Yeah.
Yo, come to the Bronx. You throw eggs at people. You want the experience.
That's why they tell people, Cresta, they're like, hey, if you're gonna go to New York, stay away from the Bronx. They're crazy out there.
Nah,
you know
man.
what? You know what it is? Bronx is getting a bad rap because Brooklyn is a reformed crackhead. Brooklyn got clean. Nah, Brooklyn was the dirtiest borough ever, but it got clean and gentrified.
Brooklyn's gentrified. So
now they're recovering crackheads. So now we getting all the hate that Brooklyn should be getting, the Bronx is getting, but it's all good.
Yeah, no, when I went to 2019 WrestleMania in New York, I stayed in Brooklyn and I was like, we went to go get a sandwich at like 4 a.m. and I was like, I don't know, I don't think I'm supposed to be able to do this. Like, we shouldn't be able to walk at 4 a.m. and get a sandwich, but we did. It was chill. There's people walking their dogs at 4 a.m.
Brooklyn is fucking soft. SAWFT. Back in the day, 20 years ago, you walk outside 4 a.m. What size of those shoes? My size.
Cresta. Yeah, I'm like, yo, somebody's gonna steal my shoe. Nobody wanted to steal my shoes.
Now it's like, wow, those are some cool shoes. Where'd you get them from? The local thrift shop? Like, yo, shut up, get out of here, bro. Like,
what size of those run those, cuz? Nah, I'm chill.
Ain't the same Brooklyn, man. There's Fresh Juice on the corner, Starbucks over here, bro. We're out of here, bro.
Look, I'm not mad at it because people aren't dying every day, but like,
yeah, I mean, that's an improvement. People was really getting poked up in Brooklyn back in the day.
I like that part.
Yeah.
That's a plus.
Yeah, what a great trip. A lot of things that happened that I will not say on this podcast that I thought were very funny. A lot of crazy moments that me and Reg talked about, and what a time. What a time, man. But if you want to get in on this chat, if you want to send us your super chats, send us your humper chats, feel free to send those. humperchats.com/Fightful, how to send your humper chats. Yeah, I'm sure people have a lot to say about some of the happenings this weekend.
They do, and we are going to get into it. Alexander Fitzgerald says, after the reaction Jack Perry got last night, do you think airing that footage was a good idea? Now I can't wait to see him with the Bucks on TV. Phil says no.
I think he would have gotten that reaction with or without the footage.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion of it, because I think he already had the heat off of the Punk stuff. I don't think any of that really changed people's opinions of it. I'm sure because of the timing of it, people are going to attribute it to the footage, but I don't. I think he would have gotten booed here regardless, and he got boos and cheers. It was very mixed, and I think it was going to be that way regardless.
I didn't see it last night. Last night I was being too litty. I was pulling a Cardi B. However, I will say I'm in the minority, and I think that footage was hilarious. It was sports entertainment. I laughed. I popped. I guffawed. Look it up. If Jack Perry get booed here, it makes sense.
Yeah, Chicago.
Chicago. We gonna blame you. It could have been Jack Perry. It could have been Dustin Rhodes. If you were the guy, that's the reason why we don't got Punk after that warning for Wrestling Jesus. I'm booing you. It didn't matter who it was. It didn't matter who it was.
Yeah, and we'll get back into some more of the footage stuff, but I'm sure some people are gonna attribute it to the footage, but I just don't know if we have enough evidence to say that that's the case.
Mm. Double Kazuya 27 says, how many stars you giving Punk versus Perry at All In?
Yeah, so this was kind of the thing with the footage. Here, wait a minute. Let's just get the footage stuff out the way.
Ooh, that's funny. That's funny because
Let's
Forbes
just
said Punk defeated Barry backstage. So that's funny.
wonder who wrote that article. Moving on. Yeah, let's just get into the footage. So, this week on AEW, we got the news that they were going to. Well, sorry, not on Dynamite, on Collision. So because I saw this coming out of WrestleMania, because of course Collision was at midnight, which if you guys stayed up to midnight to watch Collision, more power to you, man. If you watch WrestleMania and then watch 2 hours of Collision, buddy, you're a trooper. I just couldn't do it. But yeah, coming out of WrestleMania, I saw the news that they were going to drop this footage. I was just like, oh, okay, that's an idea, sure. And then they proceeded to promote this for the rest of the week. Tony Khan did an interview with Sports Illustrated where he talked about it. And he said that, that decision making behind it was to present the best show as possible and drive interest in Dynasty and Dynamite. And I said, okay. We get to Wednesday, and people are still of the opinion: are they going to air the actual footage? Is this a work? Is this just going to be like some kind of swerve? Nope, they aired the actual footage. Very controversial decision. And, we saw definitively what happened in this very quick scuffle. It's hard to even describe it as a fight because it wasn't really a fight. It was just like a quick blink and you missed it. This happened. They were pulled apart. That was it. What did you guys think? I will refrain because I've written an article about it. I've said other things about it. What do you guys think?
You gonna go first, Reg? Because I'm sports entertained.
No, please, you have at it.
I know a lot of people said this was a bad idea. I will say, non-kayfabe, you cannot choke your coworkers. That's been my stance on it. That'll always be I want to choke my coworkers, not these coworkers. Let me be clear. But there are people I work with in my shoot job. I just want to be like, stop playing with me. Like, I get it. I get it. I do. Is it the worst that ever happened in wrestling? No. But also, you kind of just got suspended, so maybe you shouldn't be choking your coworker. That aside, I was sports entertained. I laughed. I fucking laughed. I don't care. This was funny as shit to me. Oh, man. This makes so much sense. The EVPs are being jackasses. So why wouldn't they show this footage? At first, I really thought they were going to have Brandon Cutler dress up and do some carny shit. But when they actually showed the footage, I was like, yo, you guys are trolling. I lived for it. I will say I'm Chris Hero in that video.
Shout out to Hero.
Collectively, Chris Hero. Like, oh my fucking God. But I laughed. I thought it was funny. It was immature. It was stupid. And I laughed. And that's what wrestling is. Do I think it was the best decision? Maybe not, but we all talking about it. And it popped me. And when people say it pops the boys in the back, it's me. I'm the boys in the back. I laugh at anything. I thought it was great. It was funny as shit. Because it's like, bro, I don't know what was said, but the speed at which Punk was like, stop playing with me was kind of funny. I'm like, it's not funny. You cannot choke your coworkers. I cannot stress that enough. But that was funny. I laughed. It makes sense. And then Nick and Matt Jackson like, well, the FTR must have orchestrated this. Like, yo, y'all jabronis. I'm watching Dynasty. I don't care. I'm watching Dynasty. It popped me. I can't speak for everyone else. I know a lot of people like, this is a bad decision. You make AEW look bad. Shut up. It's wrestling. I'm sorry.
Thank God for Cresta.
Thank God for Cresta.
Man.
You got any takes on this, Reg, before
I don't care. Just don't care.
You don't care in general about any of this anymore, or you don't care about the actual footage?
All of it.
All of it.
We don't care. Reg don't care.
So I mean, let's get into it. So to me, when you get into the reasoning for putting the footage on the air, if you're trying to turn this into an angle, I just don't see the purpose of that, because this guy does not work for your company anymore. He's gone. And so And I thought this immediately when it happened, and you have people in your crowd chanting CM Punk and all these other things. And I was like, hey, but he's gone. There's no match that's going to happen. This is leading to nothing. And so, hey, if it's just to make these guys look like better heels, hey, we're doing that. They were doing great. Did we really need this to add to this? No. It just felt very reactionary to me, and that wasn't really anything I was interested in. I get very much people like Cresta that's like, this is funny, this is great, it's drama. I just didn't care. I didn't feel like they needed to react to the footage. I mean, to the Punk interview. Because based on the timing of it, it seems very clear that that's what they were doing here. If this was just to rebut his side of the story, you didn't need to do that because listen, I'm a Punk fan, but I was sitting watching that interview going like, oh, he's not telling the truth here. He can't be because we have the footage. The footage gave the company the evidence to fire him. It was damning enough that they fired him. So it doesn't matter what he says he did. No, the footage says that this happened, and that's why he got fired. And so I didn't really need to see the footage to know that he was embellishing his part in it. So when we saw it, I was just like, okay, that's what happened. He was wrong. He shouldn't have put his hands on the kid. He got fired. The end.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that this was damning enough to really justify showing it. And I don't, and maybe that's just me, but because like I said, he already came off looking bad. I thought that he came out of this looking terrible. I've said from the beginning, I didn't agree with what Jack did, but he should have put his hands on him. Once he put his hands on him, he was wrong.
Right. Yeah, I think doing that at that time in front of the boss, like all of these situations are like bad. Like I think everybody kind of played a not that great of a role in this. Jack Perry maybe shouldn't have done this. They're the biggest show of all time. Probably shouldn't be getting your bits off.
Probably not the right time to do that. And I'm sure people are going to be like, "Oh, but Phil, why are you defending Punk? It doesn't matter what he said. He shouldn't have put his hands on him," which is exactly what I said. I've never defended the need to put his hands on him. I've just said that Jack in that moment shouldn't have done that.
Totally. And then Punk coming out right up immediately to him. You're about to start the biggest show of all time. You're the real world's champion. You're representing this thing.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe probably shouldn't go immediately up to Jack Perry and be like, "Hey, what's going on here? We could handle this, bro. Like we could talk about this. Maybe when the show's over. Maybe when everybody's out of here. We'll get into it.
Maybe just not do anything. Maybe let your boss handle this.
I'm gonna be real with you. If I'm playing it down the middle, even if you wanted to reproach him, at some point, Punk, you're older. I hate to be that guy.
You know,
at some point you got to be like, well, if this is a dumb 21-year-old, I'm gonna be like,
should have done this.
Walk away.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why they did the footage. I also low-key agree with you guys. It wasn't necessary, but I'm gonna laugh at anything. If this is the route you want to go, I firmly believe whether Punk was in the company or not, they were going to show some sort of footage, some sort of something. They were going to turn either this incident or the incident before into an angle. And I'm here for it. It's pro wrestling.
Sure. But I guess my thing is, if you were going to do that, you should have done that months ago. I would have been fine if, like, right after it happened, you showed the footage and was done with it. But to then
legal. That's what I would think. Maybe legal.
But to come 7 months after, and after he's done an interview, to react to it, to put it on TV, after it's done, after your show is doing better, after you've moved for it, I didn't really need to see that, bro. Like
WWE does it all the time. Remember the Nigerian drum fight 20 years after Wakanda Forever?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, they're late. They're late. They're just like, it's wrestling. They're late. Listen, it comes down the pipeline late.
I mean, yeah, but I just feel like there were several things on this show that felt very reactionary, and I was just I don't think that we needed to do that. And I mean, it is what it is. Not my decision to make, but for my personal taste, I was just like, hey, this show's been good since Continental Classic. The show's been fantastic.
I agree.
And so I didn't really need to go backwards and to relitigate stuff that we've already gotten past. Like, we've already established that this guy was wrong. He was fired. He's elsewhere. Whatever you think of Jack out of this, it happened. He's back doing what he's doing in New Japan. He's doing great. So why are we relitigating this? I just didn't feel the need to do that. And
I'm sorry.
I
It's funny. That's why.
But
That is it's literally for the memes. You're trying to put a nuanced answer on some meme shit.
I think as far as like if it's just talking pro wrestling, we're not talking anything attached. I don't know anybody attached to this. I don't know anything. I'm just watching a pro wrestling program. I stand with Cresta as that shit was hilarious.
I stand with Cresta.
There is if they were like, we're gonna play a video and this is a work, this isn't real, I'd be like, this is the funniest video I've saw in my entire life. CM Punk comes up to Jack Perry and he's just like, blah, blah, blah. Jack Perry's playing with his hair. He's just like, he's just like, hair's blowing in the wind. He's like trying to get his part right and all this. And CM Punk is just like, blah, blah, blah. And Jack is just like, dude, I do not care about any of this at all. And at one point, CM Punk looks to the side like the Office style, and he's like, "Can you believe this fucking guy?" And Jack Perry is still in his hair, just like, and that's the part. That's where I'm at. Look, Phil, that part where they're just talking is way too long without somebody getting.
That's
involved.
what I was thinking when I watched it as well. It's like
what are they doing?
Why didn't anyone separate them before this turned into that?
Like, I know these two ain't going.
Everybody was just like wandering around. You had all these people in the midst of this, and then when it actually happened, I was just like, oh, okay. And I mean, like I said, the scuffle itself, if you can call it a scuffle, it's very loosely a scuffle. After that happened, I was just like, that was it. And I was just like, this is what we've made this big deal of hyping up. Like, really? And like, even the stuff with him lunging at Tony afterwards, I was just like, yeah, shouldn't have done that. But then I was also looking around like, this is what we've hyped up and built up all this time. Did we really?
The scene at which Punk snatched Jack Perry was lightning.
I was just like, I don't know, man. I didn't feel like anything was really gained from sharing this footage, because I guess from my standpoint and from most people's standpoint, we already knew that Punk was wrong.
Yeah.
Cresta, did you see Hook in this?
Hook
and Samoa Joe, because I looked at this whole thing like cinema. This was clownery.
Cinema. Get out of here.
Leave me out of this.
Because like you said, these two are talking too long. Jack Perry playing with his hair. You literally got Samoa Joe in the back doing a Shane O'Mac. Hook just standing there like, well, what the fuck is this about? Like, it seemed like, yo, ain't no fucking way. When it happened, like you said, it wasn't even a scuffle. Jack Perry, I watched too much reality TV. He got snatched up like one of them Love and Hip Hop girls. Like, you didn't even see it happen before you know he was in a headlock. And everyone's like, oh my God, Punk, please don't. At that point, I'm like, there's no way. This is clownery. But like you said, in the aftermath, people like, we've already moved on. People like, oh, AEW's broke. That's why they're doing it. No, they're not. Knock it off. But at the same time, you're kind of like eating into it by doing this. But I'm a jabroni, man. I'm a mark. I cannot see this objectively bad, because I'm like, yo, you either really don't care or you really don't care. And either way, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch. And we're all talking about it.
I guess at this point, I just didn't care. Like, watching it, I was just like, okay. And like, for me, the show has been better. So I'm like, well, once you add this to the show and you use this as the marketing ploy to get people to watch, I was like, all right, if you're going to do that, then do it. Like, make that the big thing, the pop a rating, load up this episode, make this episode the thing that gets people tuned in and locked in to keep watching moving forward. I didn't watch that episode after that aired and go, man, yeah, this is it. This is going to be the thing that turns people into AEW fans. It's not. I didn't see anything there. Like, it was a good episode, but it wasn't enough that I felt like it's going to get people to keep watching.
If you're a WWE fan and you saw that and you were trying to give AEW a chance, I feel like this drove a bigger wedge in between that. And like, I'm going to be real with you. I love Will Ospreay too, but man, Pork and the daughter, that's old. That's moldy old tea, man. They've been married. He put a ring on it. He been married. Like, I mean, I respect it. But I mean, get your jokes on. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like they've been married. So you
can't like the jokes and then not like the jokes, Cresta.
Listen, I like the jokes. Listen, I'm here for the jokes. For the jokes. I'm just saying, like, oh, you're fucking the boss's daughter. Okay.
Listen, I'm hitting that forever. No, that's forever. Like, I'm
always making that joke.
I'm 50 Cent Ja Rule in this bit. No, it's forever. Like, that's what. Like, I'm not changing it. That's your bit. But
and I mean, I mean, I guess that was the other controversial thing here was the Osprey promo, where he reacted to people saying that he ran for the grind, and we've heard that catchphrase from the Fed folks for a while. Oh, they're running for the grind. That's why they didn't come here. Cole ran from the grind. That's why he went over there. It was interesting to see someone from AEW actually address it on TV. And so in that vein, I enjoyed it for what it was. I didn't really need some of the stuff like, oh, well, you was grinding up on it. I'm like, okay, but yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now that you said it again, it's funny. It's funny. You
See?
right.
I was like, all right. I was like, cool, get your shit off. And I mean, like I said, the promo was cool because the promo is wrestling. I didn't think that sharing that footage was wrestling. It just felt like, hey, let's get our lick back on this guy because he said some stuff about us in an interview. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well,
that kind of is wrestling, though.
Business. He said, I don't care. I don't like that. That was
The business
ghetto.
is kind of built off of this pettiness. I feel like even if you think this is the worst idea, that's still kind of pro wrestling to the.
And it is. I don't think it was the worst idea. I just was like, I didn't really need this personally.
Yeah.
I didn't. Really
I can understand why you don't want it. Like, I can understand both sides. Like, if you're like, why did they play this? They're doing this. They have Will Ospreay, they have Okada, they have Pac, they have Bryan Danielson. Yes. Like, you don't need
they
to
got
do
Mercedes,
this.
Bro. Like, y'all
they got Mercedes.
Yes.
But then it's also like, I don't know, it's a dumb video, a dumb wrestling video.
Sometimes old habits are hard to escape. You want to be the bigger person, but God ain't finished working on you yet.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah,
I'm gonna get to that tomorrow.
We go pray tomorrow. Right now, I gotta be a heathen for this collision tonight. What's good?
Yeah, but like the perception of this, like WWE's coming off their hottest week of the year with WrestleMania, and you guys reacted to Punk during the interview. Then Ospreay did the promo, and then you main event the show with Dustin versus Samoa Joe for the championship. It's just like, okay, man. Well, you guys can't just keep doing your thing. You don't have to worry about what they're doing.
Maybe it's the true forbidden door. Listen, not Tony Khan, but the other Khan said he's open for business, and Vince McMahon ain't there, and Triple H said he's open for business, and Jordan Grace was in the Rumble. Maybe you're not using your wrestling brain. Maybe they doing this because we're having the real forbidden door next year, 2024 WrestleMania, Seth Rollins versus
No, I do not see that.
No, I do not see that. But I do feel you though, Phil, because these things kind of tie in together with. I feel like AEW's best way to get back at haters and get back at distractors and get back at whoever says anything is with the wrestling. So This case is a prime example of if I have Will Ospreay and he wants to prove to Triple H or whoever that he's not running from the grind and he's that guy, I probably would have just put him in the main event of this show and just show everybody in the world.
Let my guy cook.
Like, okay, Ospreay wants to say something. What's the best way to Ospreay say something? It's in the ring, ring the bell. So you get those people that are here to watch this video or whatever, and then in the main event, you get one of the aces of the company tearing it down. Probably would have been probably
would have hit a bit harder. And I mean, there were
Josh Alexander versus Will Ospreay at the main event on TNA. Come on, use your noodle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were things I liked about the episode. I thought Cope versus Penta was a really good opener. Mm-hmm. I thought the women's stuff was good. I like that they're continuing to build the stuff with the women towards Forbidden Door because we've never gotten that before. Yeah. But a lot of the stuff that I liked is niche stuff for us. And that's why I'm like, if you're trying to bring in and pop this rating and bring people in that are going to watch for the mess, you got to give them something else that's going to get them to keep watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's we'll see. That's kind of where I landed though, because everybody's like, I never thought that any people that were gonna shock tune in or whatever are gonna hang around anyways, because they're not watching for that. They're not coming for what AEW gives up. They're coming for this dumb video, and so whatever they could say, whatever they have to say about the video.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it also is just. I was thinking about this the other night and just how cyclical wrestling is and how. When AEW first started, man, people were down on the Fed, bro. Anti-WWE sentiments were everywhere. But that's just not the case no more. Like, now they're hot. A lot of people are enjoying the product more. And so yeah, when you now react to certain things they do, people are going to be like, boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. And whether some people still feel that way about WWE, you just look away in some people's eyes because they're having fun watching WWE now. It's just not the same times.
That is an amazing point, Phil, that people
Yes.
don't bring up. When they talk about ratings and they talk about stuff, there was a window where I thought AEW could convert these WWE fans for good because the Fed fans were down on. They were just like, the product
Stipulate
wasn't
shit.
hot, people wasn't watching, blah, blah, blah. But it's insanely hot. When I was watching the show last night, they were like, we got another sellout 15,000 people. And these 15,000 people are rocking, dude. Like, it's like, hot, almost as hot as it's ever been. Like maybe money wise, probably is the hottest it's ever been. Those fans are over there and they're staying. When they only want to watch one wrestling program. They don't want to tune in. If WWE is hot, that's all we need and all we got. So you're not going to bring any of those fans back. If you want to get new fans, you got to think of a new strategy. But if we're converting WWE fans, I think that ship has sailed because WWE is back to who they are.
That's not going to happen. You're not going to convert certain people over. There's certain WWE fans that are just never going to care about AEW. That's just what
no matter what you do.
And I think that there's also people who are like me who are like, just watch wrestling, enjoy yourself, have a good time. And those people are going to watch what you put out regardless. It's just like you said, it's hard when you're trying to convert people by shitting on one or the other. And and now is the time, I think. I personally still think AEW is a good product. I agree with who said it, but after the Continental Classic, it's been on fire, literally.
It's amazing.
But trying to convert WWE fans to AEW and vice versa right now is not going to happen. And I think that you guys sticking to your own game plan will be the best for you long-term wise. That being said, I'm still holding out hope that we will get a true Forbidden Door.
You are not.
You better keep holding out hope because it is not happening.
I don't care. Listen, you want to do something crazy? You really want to pop a rating? MJF versus Seth Rollins. Thank you. That's my time.
Bro, you might as well go fly back to Philly and go pray in front of the Rocky statue and hope that happen.
You heard me? I'm coming back, baby. See you in Dynamite. Dynasty next week.
Yeah, I mean the AEW, like I said, the best way to get back at them is by throwing it in the ring. They got Dynasty coming up. We got Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay. We got Samoa Joe and Swerve. We have Pac and Okada. Like, they're gonna do exactly what they need to do, and they just have to continue doing that. Sometimes you get caught up in the weeds. Look, the game is the game. I get caught up on social media sometimes. Some people go overboard, and I'm like, you know what? Today's the day. Fuck you, motherfucker. But like, that it could just be that day, and the next day you'd be like, all right, we're moving on. We're getting back to what we was getting to.
Yeah, and I mean, look, shots are shots. That's wrestling. Both companies taking shots at each other. I'm not mad at that part of it. That doesn't bother me. I just feel like you shouldn't let anything kind of overtake what your product is. And I feel like coming out of this week, I haven't heard anybody talking about anything else that happened on Dynamite other than that footage. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think, like, one of my fears with them showing it, I was like, man, I'm so glad they didn't show that last week, because just how good that main event segment was with Swerve and Joe and the Willow stuff, all of that would have gotten overshadowed by this footage. And I would have hated that.
I mean, I have nothing constructive to add besides, like, I don't know. To me, it makes sense. And I mean, not for nothing, Cody Rhodes was breaking the throne with a tank and a sledgehammer, and now he's WWE champion. So can't be too mad about that footage. Next week, somebody will do something stupid,
I mean, like, that's why I'm like, shots are shots. I don't really care about companies taking shots at each other, but
that's why I laugh. It's like, you grown men doing shenanigans. Come on now.
I don't know. I just, it's certain stuff with Punk at this point where I'm just like, if we're not getting the match, why does this matter? Like,
because the Forbidden... Come on, Phil. I'm back on my bullshit. CM Punk, bro.
This guy is never going back over there. This guy
was never going back to the Fed.
This guy is never going to be welcome back over there. Well, I shouldn't say never. You're absolutely right, because he did end up going back to the Fed. But
WWE, that seems crazy.
But it don't seem like he's going to be welcome to that brunch anytime soon.
I'm going to be honest with you. I thought in all my years of watching wrestling, and even when I first came back, one of the main things I heard was CM Punk would rather eat shit and die and clap, and he'd rather shit in his hands and clap than go back to WWE. And what is he doing right now? Yes, Lord, for the rest of our day. So anything can happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God.
Am I wrong? Am I think of every podcast, every interview Punk has said about going back to the WWE, a big bag of money and fuck those guys. And what is he doing now?
That's where we're at, man. That's where we're at, bro. I'm sure we've got more super chats on the topic of the footage. I'm sure we've got more in the Humper chats. Again, make sure you send in your super chats, humperchats.com/Fightful for the big humps.
All right. Yeah. Meet Norma says, what's good, Grapsody? Let's crank. My Wiz are looking to finish 16 and 66. Very evil. Speaking of which, anyone think Braun's starting to look like Thanos? Also, X-Men 97 is restoring the feeling AEW lost. Ooh.
I wouldn't say that AEW's lost the feeling. I just think
think so.
Because I think AEW has been great this year. The show's been good. Revolution was fire. Let's not forget that was already one of the best shows of the year. This was just one of those things where I'm just like, the show has been so good. The pay-per-view was so good. Why do we need to do this? But
next Sunday night, everybody's going to be like, AEW did it again. You know, it's
So I don't. Yeah, but
2 weeks.
Yeah, X-Men 97 has been incredible. If you're not watching it, great show.
I just started watching it. I saw the first episode, saw the second episode, and the way people are clowning on Scott Summers, as you should. He's a fucking cop. Get him, get him, get him.
We're not going for no Cyclops slander around here, bro.
Oh, Phil, I respect you, so we won't slander on Grapsody, but I got tons of Cyclops.
We're not going for no Cyclops slander around here, bro.
No, I have been seeing people all in their feelings this week about the X-Men episode. Like, people are
the
like,
latest one I heard came out. People are like, you want a hug, bud? I'm not there yet. No spoilerino, but I heard it's like, you need a hug, bud.
It's heavy.
Emotional.
It's heavy, man.
Van Twinblay says, Krusta is utterly adorable.
I am an otter. And I do have an otter tail. I would turn around, but I don't want us to get demonetized.
Oh, otterly. Yeah, I messed the joke up. Sorry, you guys.
It's all good. It's early.
Come on, man. You got playing to the bits, bro.
Yeah, right. Chi-Town Square says, what's up, guys? Was at Windy City Riot last night. Vibes were incredible after a very silly week. Jack Perry, Chicago is yours now. Punk can have the burbs. Whoa, Phil, how you feel about that?
No, it was a great show. It was a great show. I think Jack played excellent to the crowd. This reminded me, he had that random match with Doki. I believe that was at Wintrust as well. And it was kind of the same energy where he played into the crowd. He got a lot of heat. And this was the same, turned up to 100.
I would like to know in New Japan Pro Wrestling production why they had the Chicago crowd so dark. The show was like super dark. I'm like, light the bros up a little bit out there.
Not like the bros up.
Because it was hot. It was Chicago. I'm like, they sound really loud, but I can't see anybody. I understand, like, New Japan, it's like, it's about the wrestling. It's not about that. Maybe that's like my American wrestling brain being like, I want to see what's in the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, great show last night. We'll get into Windy City Riot in a minute, but great show.
Dex Baker says, yo, I got to meet the real Chicago Phil before the show yesterday. I'll say that his vibes on the show are the same as his vibes in person. Here's something since I couldn't buy you a drink at the meetup.
Appreciate you, man. It was nice to meet people. I hung out with the guys at the Keeping It Strong Style podcast ahead of the show because they did a meetup.
Dope.
And so, yeah, it's cool to see those guys walking around come on, I'm at home in my city. It's cool to just see a lot of people that were just like, hey, is that Phil Lindsey from like several feet away? And I'm just like, who's calling me? I'm worried. Like, how do you know my name?
Who's calling me? I'm worried.
I'm worried. I'm scared.
The famous Phil.
But yeah, it was a good time last night.
And yes, Phil's vibe is exactly the same as he is on the show. Like, he ain't putting on isn't like, he don't wake up and put on a mask and be like, I'm ready for Grapsody. Like, no, that's Phil.
Same with Red.
Phil there.
These guys are the same in real life.
When we started this, I was waking up and putting on a mask. Sometimes I can't, dude. I have to like be the same person.
Too lazy. It's mad work.
Exactly. Chris, I can't be like, man, I can't be doing bits.
Bro,
I gotta be the regular person.
I cannot for the life of me understand anybody that gets in front of a microphone and then they turn into, I got to talk very loud now and I got to put on this character, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
Like,
wow,
who
don't
fucking
cook me. I'm
cares?
right here. Don't cook me. I'm right here. Wait till I leave. I'm gonna put you on the
Not you,
phone.
Creston, but I just think in general, people that do the bits, I'm just
Yeah.
like, all right, man.
Like,
And
if
then
I
when
can
you
see your
press them in real life,
veins,
they're like, "Oh, I'm not like that. It's actually a character. My name is Baxter." Like, yo, shut
come
up.
on,
Bro,
man.
you're not a wrestler, bro. There is
Yeah,
no
you're not a
character.
wrestler.
You're a podcaster, bro.
You
You're
don't get
not
to
a
pick-
wrestler.
You don't get to pick a gimmick like, oh, I'm gonna be this guy. I'm gonna be the controversial spam guy. Like, no, come on.
No.
It's not
And
a-
imagine picking a gimmick and it doesn't get over, and then you're mad. Why doesn't no one like me? Because people think this is really you, you dummy. Dummy, yeah.
Yeah.
issue is these boys think numbers are getting them over too. Them numbers are just numbers. Anybody could have numbers. The greatest of all time, 74 says, I'm not up with the New Japan history, but why did they change belts? This one is so ugly. It looks like it looks like the Willow Tonight.
Oh, the Willow belt from Jeff Hardy. That's this.
Oh, the Whisper in the Wind belt. It does. Can't wait for Ospreay versus Claudio.
That's rude.
Have you got do you like that belt now, Phil? It's still like
It's grown on me. I think at this point, it's been around for so long that I've just accepted it. But I wasn't a big fan because we came off such a great belt. Like you're
old
never
belt is
gonna,
so good.
you're never gonna top that version of the belt before this. It's just so perfect, and so I've just kind of accepted this belt for what it is at this point. Like I'm not the biggest fan of it, but that's the belt.
Yo, one Battle of Los Angeles PWG, AJ Styles was the IWGP champion, and he brought that belt to Reseda, and it was like, yo, this is
Fire, man.
history right here. And in person, it's just like, so yeah, like you'll never be able to top that belt. But yeah, I still am not super into the current belt. It just,
It just don't fit. It doesn't have the same feel, man. That other belt, it was just perfect, man. It was a perfect design, but you know, still IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, I kind of blame Coda for this. He merged those belts and then
Nah, I
he
blame
left us
Coda.
with it.
He left and never came back.
You
But
know,
yeah, Ospreay versus Claudio has been announced for Dynamite, and that's gonna be
Heater.
I don't think
This
people understand
Wednesday?
what's about to happen. And yeah,
Oh my god, I'm working too. I'm about to call out dead, bro.
I'm about to call out dead is crazy.
Like I got hit by an MTA bus. I'll be back on the 22nd when I come back from the
Back from the dead.
like you bad, yeah, through the powers of necromancy. You ain't here. I was told a death match, like that was me.
Oh,
I said,
man.
I'm about to recover.
Tony P says, Phil, you for real about what Cole did? I was just joking about joining Ken and Metro.
Yeah, he's on the album. He's on the Red Leather record. He's on the album.
There.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how like timing and all those works, like when he dropped the verse, or did he like I don't know what part he knows about this, but it looks crazy.
And the timing of it looks very crazy.
Reggie Simmons says last night at the Wintrust was dope as F. The energy was amazing. I love this city once again, the mecca of this pro wrestling doing mecca-ish.
That boy Reggie spitting, bro. The mecca of pro wrestling. You're not gonna come
Me
here and
or
have
Reggie
Oh,
Simmons or
God.
Reggie me?
nah, man.
Every Reg.
Listen, man. You read Reggie's, so you know you read Reggie's chat, so you know everybody's cooking, man. It's a collaborative effort.
Reg is Reg cooking.
Listen, we're about to get our time. New Japan Strong's next big event, California, baby. I'm about to be out there. Got a ticket May 11th. Very excited about it. AEW is
don't
gonna
gotta
be out here
travel.
too. I
You
mean, I do have to travel. I gotta drive, but you know,
But you don't
It's
gotta
like-
fly. You know,
it's like 6 hours away.
like-
Yeah, I know. Look, I know.
Oh wow.
I know. Look, I know. Everybody thinks California is like, oh, LA's right here, and no, it's like everything's right
Nah. One end of the state to the other end of the state is like a whole day.
there. It's you're gonna be traveling straight up. Chi-Town Spurs also says, LMAO, the story reminds me of Eddie Murphy about how Italians get too hyped over Rocky. Phil and I definitely were talking about Eddie Murphy. That's the first thing Phil said when we got there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's immediately what I thought about Eddie Murphy stand up and him talking about how hyped up Italians get after they saw that first Rocky movie.
Stop it.
I love it, man. Chris says, why New Japan let an AEW guy win the world championship?
I think it's a good time to do it. Because you're now rebuilding your roster. You're building up your young guys. You're building up new faces. So, if you want somebody that has star power like Mox to hold that belt and to do something interesting with it for a few months, can't hurt.
Also,
And it's
low key, New
Mox.
Japan is kind of like they lost Okada. They're kind of doing what they can. They're doing what they can. You know what I mean? No shade.
And we're building towards a show here, right? The real Forbidden Door, not the one that Cresta's.
All right. You know what? I bookmark this because when it happens, I'm just gonna
It's
come
not
in.
gonna happen.
I'm just gonna be the most Bronx. I'm like, hey, I'm coming in. I'm coming in. I'm gonna be CM Punk at that press conference with my muffins. So I'm like, hey, y'all said it couldn't happen. Hey.
Yo, if we get to that point, Cresta, something crazy has happened. Like something.
WWE hired me because I predicted this. Somebody hired. I'm going to everyone's door. I'm not.
You can't say that on the podcast because people already think that we want to be hired by WWE and these companies. So you gotta be careful.
I don't want
money.
We're gonna have to put a disclaimer on Cresta.
I'm kidding. I don't want money.
Our friend Eloquent says that Mustafa Ali promo he cut after his match, fire.
I missed TNA on Thursday and I'm upsetty. But again, I was telling these guys off air. I saw that Jordan Grace promo. How you cook 3 people?
Hey man, Ali's been on a run, man. He's been on a great run on the Indies. Really cool to see it, man.
I want to see him places. CBD's Nuts says, same Cresta, huge pop, highly sports entertained, but assault is still assault. Yeah.
Listen, I get it. There's one manager in my mind to this day. I'm like, if I have assault, how much? But that's assault, you know?
Like it is
justified. It may be funny, but it's assault.
Exactly. It is pro wrestling. We said all these things, but like, I mean, you can't just punch.
You can't.
Luke, that's Luke Perry's kid, dude. You can't just be like punching.
Why has nobody put the 90210 theme over the footage by now?
It has to be by the end of this podcast.
Hang 'em High's been on it. Like as soon as that Rhea Ripley thing with the chair came out, 2 seconds later, Sonic ring. So hang 'em high. This is your job. This is your calling.
Nah, that visual of Chris Hero walking away with that face like
the main thing I remember out of that whole show was Chris Hero being like, "Oh my fucking god."
Yo, that's a good segue. Shout out to my homie Chris Hero tomorrow in LA. If you're out there, Chris Hero and West Coast Pro collaborative effort, the Chris Hero Pro Rest mixtape. Insane show happening tomorrow. Definitely check that out if you're live. You can watch it online. Chris Hero's wrestling. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
Chris
gotta be
Hero's
dope.
really a hero. Like,
he's famous this week, so hopefully that gets some more people at the show.
Period. 21.
I'm sure he's gonna have a lot more to talk about when people see him now.
He should really just sell a shirt with him just going like this.
I hate that for him. I hate that for him because he doesn't want that. He wants to talk about is wrestling so bad, and
he just wants the
vibes. What about this drama? He does not want to.
I mean, also get your money, honey. Like it's a flash in the pan. People gonna forget in a month. Get your money, honey.
I mean, yeah. But based on the conversations I've had with Chris Hero, yeah, he just wants the vibes. He just want to talk about Graps. He want to talk about some rap music and basketball. He don't want to talk about none of that, man.
Alexander Fitzgerald says, I can't believe there were people comparing the airing of footage to WCW 2000. Yeah. The funniest part for me is those people weren't around for WCW.
You were born in 2012. Knock it off.
Yeah, like, you don't even know what you're comparing right now.
Yeah, I like, even though I didn't care for it, I wouldn't do all of that. That's a little bit much, but see, that's part of it too. Like, I feel like you gave ammunition to people that want to drag your show, like the Bischoffs of the world, to be like, oh, this is lowbrow. You guys look you guys look, what do you call it, Bush League and all that. Like, you know what those people are gonna do, and that was the part where I'm just like, I am not looking forward to a week of clips of these people talking. Like, oh my god, shut
But
up.
also on the flip side, even when they do something great, those guys still have something to say. So
Absolutely, it's a lose-lose situation, and that's why I'm just like, I just don't. I that was really more than anything when I saw that they were gonna air the footage. I was like, I'm not looking forward to a week of people talking about this. I just don't want to hear people's takes on this. Everybody shut
funny.
up.
This exact super chat is funny is because people were comparing it to WCW 2000, and Eric Bischoff's gonna be like, but like you, WCW 2000 is you dumb idiot. He does just not.
Some people just want AEW to fail so bad that this was going to be a blow no matter what. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I'm like, why? I want both companies to thrive because we've gotten great wrestling because the existence of AEW and the existence of WWE. So just laugh. Please just laugh. Just
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to say that you felt like this wasn't good and move on. I personally just was like, this wasn't really good. There were things about it, by the way, that I did think were funny, like Matt giving his blow by blow, and they wouldn't say Punk's name, but he goes, yeah, certain other individual that, you know, happened to say that if you got a problem with Jack Perry, that might be you. Another funny callback. It was a bunch of things that they said in the midst of it that are the Bucks just being the Bucks that are funny. But just in totality, not really for me.
Chris says this made me feel CM Punk tried to get fired.
I don't think.
Maybe.
I think it's very well known that Tony Khan was like CM Punk was a dream hire. And if CM Punk wrote the book on how to get fired, there'd be a couple of other people who are rumored to be unhappy who would have done the same. So I
mean, doing that right in front of the boss, and then going for the he's not trying to get fired at this point.
He's not trying to get employee of the month. Like,
I know where he came from. I mean, not for nothing. Undertaker said he missed the days where there was guns and knives back in the locker room. So maybe that's what he's used to. I don't listen. I'm not making no assumptions. I'm just asking.
He wasn't trying to get employee of the month. So.
No, man.
In WWE, that's how you get employee of the month. You slap the shit out of someone and fiscal. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that was what his aim was. It does seem like he was kind of over it. Because, I mean, just based off the story that right afterward he was saying I quit and he went into the locker room and he didn't want to do the match. It just seems like he was over it.
It's like maybe not you thinking you're going to get fired, but you're like at that point where you don't care. You start smoking weed on your break. You know what I mean? Like you bring like a water bottle, but there's actually vodka instead of water.
And everyone can smell it. Like, yo, that's not water, Deborah.
Bro, that's not water. We can smell it. It's like
this ain't water.
Yo, you say you go on your lunch break, you don't even pick perfume, just come in and smell like
you used to do a ritual before you came back in. Now you just come right out. Yeah, I was smoking, bro. What you want? What you gonna do?
I was on my break. You don't pay me for it.
It was my break. I could do whatever California law says. I could do whatever.
Yo, I'm gonna shut up, bro.
You're smoking a blunt back here. I'll cut. Look, I didn't know what the rules were now. Like we keep getting management changes. Like all this is going down.
Oh, you've been working for 3 years. What you mean you don't know what the rules were? So okay, but weed's legal. What you trying to do?
Nah, man. I didn't know that I couldn't do that, man.
I didn't know I couldn't do that. I didn't know I could do that.
I didn't know I could do that.
Nobody told me I couldn't do this. Like this is the first time. Thank you.
You know.
You want to fire me? Oh no.
Tyrone Kidd says, after the fallout from this tape, TK has to make this right. Book
Cheetan versus Takeshita.
Cheetan versus Takeshita. Sorry. Cheetan versus Takeshita at Dynasty, you coward.
I agree. Don't be a coward, Tony. That's a death match. No. That's a good death match.
Is that true, D-Laura? Is there a Drake diss track in the wild now?
No way.
Let's do some Googles.
Yeah, do some Googles. Do some Googles. Chi-Town Spurs says, I agree with Phil on this until last night.
Hey, man. Splash were good last night. But
I think people are thinking this is going to be good for Jack Perry like I originally thought.
That's the first thing I thought. Like, the only reason why you'd be showing this footage is to bring Jack Perry back. That's the only reason why, you know? To me, like you said, it makes no sense in the long run.
Ronan Mike Clips brings up a great thing, and I'd love to hear your take on this, Cresta. Happy Grapsody, everyone. I can't believe the Fed advertised Agua Fresca during the Luchador match and Wingstop during the women's 6-man. They advertised, Wingstop sponsored the big three. Now, look, I was saying maybe Wingstop was like, look, give us the 3 flyest women you got on your roster because listen, it is the market. Cresta, am I right?
Because I'm black, I like chicken.
Yes.
That's
I
crazy.
can say that.
That's crazy.
I can say that.
Bro
I think.
said yes.
I think I can say that.
That's crazy. The real question is lemon pepper dry, lemon pepper wet.
See, exactly. She trying to act like, nah, y'all know exactly what time it is.
Listen, man.
I mean, get your money. It ain't the word. Is it poor strategy and poor
Maybe.
marketing? Yes.
Like, could they maybe have like rearranged a couple of them? Yeah, I think so. Totally.
I mean, it's a 6-man. I'm sure it's not only black girls in there. There's only 3 of them. So there's got to be somebody else across. There's got to be somebody else across the ring. And everybody loves chicken wings. You know, like
it's
describe
universal.
a person who doesn't like chicken wings or boneless wings, I'll call you're a liar. You're a liar.
Listen, chicken wings during wrestling or a sports event. That's the way to go.
It's universal.
Wingstop.
Wings at the strip club. Stop it.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Wingstop has made a no flex zone hot again. Like it now gets stuck in my head again because that commercial comes on constantly, and like I'll just be like randomly sitting somewhere like they know better,
right? Yeah,
they know better.
Yeah. They're like sponsoring basketball or something. Of course they are. See, I'm telling you, these things these dots keep connecting.
Listen, if AJ Francis could get sponsored by Cheez-It and be the Cheez-It champion,
Yeah.
why can't these girls be the Wingstop champion? There's 6 women in there. They only got 3 black girls. I mean, you do the math.
Has anybody challenged him for the Cheez-It belt?
Huh?
Has anybody challenged him for the Cheez-It belt?
Huh?
I beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, I'm a little deaf in one ear.
Excuse me?
You are so sick.
I mean, technically, the only person who's done that has been Joe Hendry. And Joe Hendry been cooking. Joe Hendry called.
Hey, Joe Hendry's been.
That guy.
Joe Hendry has been in the booth going on.
Cooking, bro. I'm just like, bro, sometimes I'm seeing these segments. I'm like, AJ, fight back, bro.
Fight back. No, fight back.
And the crazy part is that I think AJ Francis could do a whole diss record and fucking Joe Hendry come out with his 3 guitar strings and was still cooking shit.
Right, like something about Joe Hendry just got the formula. I don't know what it is, man.
Bro, I can't even look at Matt Cardona the same because all I hear is you were indie famous, now you're really rich, but to me you will always be Edge's bitch. Yeah.
Bro, Joe Hendry is out here cooking, bro.
Man, nah, it really be. I'm like, AJ, though, nah, you gonna let him talk to you like this?
Stand up. Stand up.
Talking crazy.
This man hit you with the whole intro to West Philadelphia and was offbeat and still cooked your shit. Stop. Fight back. Fight back.
You gotta fight back. Ronan Mike Clips also says, since this beef is over, I'll take Cole and Kendrick finally releasing Temptation as a consolation prize. Is the beef over?
Is it? We don't know if Kendrick feels that way. We got.
That's what I'm saying. Like we can't determine for Kendrick if it's over.
Cole apologized. Kendrick did not.
No, he did not.
It's not how it works. Like if Kendrick's like, "No, we in this now. I think we're in this now."
Yeah,
you're gonna have to fight back. CBD's Nuts says, speaking of highlights from Dynamite, Stokely is a goddamn national treasure and pops me every time. Stokely can just. All he needs is one line, Phil. Like just one.
I want to commentate him and Nigel. Nigel, and Taz. I would never watch the show. I would just be listening.
No, him, Nigel, Snoop, and Taz, because Snoop was insane.
Okay, but Snoop is not going to do anything. Snoop and Rick Ross would be funny, but what are they going to do? Be for real, Rich.
Big Snoop.
Come on, man.
Bro, when he said, "I'm sorry," Eddie King said that you smelled like Newports and onion rings from Burger King. I was like, yo, you want to get beat up. So I
think he wants to get beat up.
You want to get beat up.
Yeah. Yes Boy says, laugh harder than I should when Jack Perry did the GTS taunt and then the New Japan announcer said, Kenta is furious somewhere.
Big dog Kenta was backstage having the time of his life probably.
Y'all better stop. Kenta will come out and GTS everybody. Stop playing with
Kenta thought this was so funny.
It's funny when he does it, not when CM Punk does it, because then I'm pissed.
Mm-hmm. I like people not getting my friend's joke of that face because they said "fuck Chicago," not the. No, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Delayed Grass says hot takes. Everybody's saying AEW was trying to convert WWE fans on Wednesday is wrong. They were stoking tribalism because it feels customers' loyalty is the same as WWE does. Feed their trolls nonstop.
I suppose, but
yeah,
maybe not nonstop.
I suppose, but in that way, what did it help you then? If you're telling me that the point to air that was to pop a rating, they made the point to promote it for 3 days. How did it help you then? In that way, did it? If you're saying it wasn't to bring in viewers, then what was it for?
Yeah, listen, I laughed, but I think objectively speaking, zooming out of it, CM Punk was trending on Twitter. Where does he work? You popped a rating, like low key. You popped a rating for WWE. Unfortunate.
And then they're like, oh, because at one point they start chanting CM Punk when the Young Bucks came out. They're like, but there was also a fuck CM Punk chant. I'm like, but they're still chanting for somebody not on this show.
you're creating chants for somebody that don't work here.
You don't work here.
We said the same complaint when people were chanting for CM Punk on WWE.
Right. Exactly. So it's like, I don't know. Was it worth it to even have his name be brought up out here?
I mean, plain as day, you made a point of none of your characters in that segment saying his name because you didn't want that to happen.
You didn't want that to happen, yeah.
And what happened?
But of course, it's gonna happen if I see 3 X's on the back of somebody's shirt on the TV. I'm chanting for CM.
You know what time it is?
Devil Kazuya 27 says, after SmackDown, who will be in Bloodline Wolfpack? I think we have an idea who might be the next member, right? Yeah.
Isn't it Tama Tonga?
Oh no. Don't get us canceled, Krista.
I'm sorry.
It's all the Bloodline.
You know what? I don't know nothing about wrestling. I've never watched wrestling a day in my life.
First
Sorry.
time.
I'm just here because I'm one of Sean's AIs. My fault.
But yeah, I'm thinking like, if the rumors are the rumors, then maybe next will be the big homie Jacob Fatu, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
I can see that.
Yeah. I like that squad.
Yeah. Do you think Rikishi comes back and tries to get the Usos back together to combat Bloodline Wolfpack or Bloodline Red LWO and whatever they're calling themselves?
I've seen the vision. Jay's now wearing the sunglasses with Yeet on it. It's only a matter of time before Rikishi shows up in the ring and he takes the sunglasses off and puts it on his dad and he does the dance. It's only a matter of time.
Look, I hadn't seen the vision. I'm seeing the vision now. That's lit. I've
been waiting for Rikishi to come back since he dropped his rap, which was, by the way, Rikishi, okay. I see you.
But like enough to Rikishi for a rap.
I mean, honestly, he was kind of spitting bar like, Rikishi, you kind of old, but you too old to be rapping like that. Come on, I see a career.
But yeah, after last night, I was all I was thinking was like, oh, finally they're gonna put Jimmy and Jay back together. That's like the only thing that I thought coming out of that was thank God.
Yeah. Well, based on that match this weekend, at this time, get them back.
Get these brothers back together.
Get them back together, buddy.
Oh yeah, but they got to get through this damn title match with Jay first. Hurry it up.
Wait, who's he going against? Damian Priest?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, let me tell you something. That match is not safe. Drew McIntyre is coming with Angela. It's just gonna.
Hey man,
he ain't got nothing though. He ain't got no briefcase. He can't do that.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm Drew McIntyre or if I'm anyone and I see Drew, I'm definitely doing. You gonna. That man's on the edge.
He definitely gonna be the ops on the way up, though.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are we through our super chats? Are we ready to get into some of these super chats?
Couple more, but we can go into it. Into the humpers.
How many more super chats you got?
There's like 4 of them, something like that. We can save them.
Okay.
Did you find that diss track?
No, I didn't. Somebody said it's AI, which AI is fucked up.
Oh my God, do not.
Yo, AI is supposed to do my dishes and clean my house, not do my
Right?
art. This is bull.
No. Why are you
Nah,
spitting
man.
bars, man? Like, help me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
like
thought we. Nah,
something else.
this is suggestions, man. This is now just
Mhm.
hindering people.
I'm supposed to spit the bars.
Right.
See, we got very generous humper chat from Jen. Says, "Love you, Jen. It's been a wild couple of weeks. New Japan, Windy City Riot was phenomenal. Appreciate you, Jen, as always.
Thank you, Jennifer. Amazing.
We've got a few here from Tony P. He says, not using the tape for it this cause. Sorry, not using the tape for this. It's time to move on. It is over with. Everyone got their 2 cents in. So let me start it by saying Quavo got a Petty of the Week nomination. Who is yours, bro? I completely forgot. Have you guys heard this Quavo record?
I've heard a little bit of the part of him dissing Chris Brown.
Oh, listen, I'm here for Chris Brown slander. I wasn't interested, but now I'm here. I'm piqued. First of all, did he really diss Chris Brown, or he was just like?
No, he dissed him.
He went in. He was just like basically like these rappers mad about a girl. You know, she not coming home tonight. Don't beat her. I was like,
I mean, you wouldn't have those allegations if you weren't a known woman beater.
Quavo got his shit off. I was like, all right. Well,
Quavo been waiting, I think. Those felt like some I've been waiting bars.
Yeah. He was like, man, yeah. Nah, he was like, don't beat her. Must be the drugs he's on. I was like, yikes. All right. Well, we're here now. Cool.
I mean, I'm gonna be real with
Quavo said no subliminals, bro. Like it is what it is. I'm jumping out there.
I have not known Chris Brown to challenge a man, so I don't think Chris Brown may be responding. So
hey, he's tried. He's tried to get into a few scuffles with some guys. It didn't didn't really go well for him, but you know.
The only person I know Chris Brown wants the fair ones with is Rihanna and Karuchi, who happen to both be women. And what, Frank Ocean, or is that Diddy? Oh, no.
It was Frank Ocean.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's Frank Ocean.
Where you going far?
You see what I'm doing? Like I think Quavo bossing up on you might just. I'm always here for the Chris Brown slander. I'm always here for Chris Brown slander. I don't care.
Same.
Yeah, more from Tony P. He says, excited to see Triple H full vision for WWE. I really hope the new champs don't have lackluster feuds and fall into some old NXT black and gold pitfalls. Also, as much as I love my queens, Bianca / Jade as a team, can we please have them face someone other than the Damage Control? Yeah, hopefully we're done with Bianca versus Damage Control moving forward.
They're the tag champs, though.
I know, and I'm now worried that that's where we're going, but
yeah.
Tony P also goes on to say, speaking of more fine-ass black women, we got to see Red and our fallen goddess back on AEW TV tonight. Say what you want about them, but I am enjoying how they are really trying to showcase the women more and loving the 2 different Stardom stories added in.
Yeah. We got some good wrestling, good women's wrestling coming out of all this for sure.
Yeah. More from Tony P says, and can we now give Mox his flowers? 3 different major companies have deemed this man worthy to be the face and credible enough to be their champion. That includes CCW and GCW. We will never see a person like him for a long time. Congrats again to Mox. The last party says, before I go, can we mute and not cute tweet these terrible hating assholes on social media for now? Oh wow. Sorry. Excuse me. Oh boy. These people do not deserve our time and energy. Don't give them the pleasure. If you want to take shit, as a lady says, do it in their post. Don't spread their shit. No, I totally agree. I've seen the tweets that people were arguing with, and I blocked these people instantly. I had no interest in talking to them. Like, why are we engaging in these people that just want engagements?
I thought about it because I love cutting promos on awful people. Like, without saying names, one is bald and ugly, and the other one, how do you just have hair here? It doesn't connect anywhere. I don't think you look good enough to have a critique about anyone. But you're absolutely right. We don't give these people time.
No,
You know,
you don't.
it falls off in the toilet.
You know, it is what it is, man. People are going to do that on social media because people think that that's the way to get attention on them by talking on somebody that other people actually like to watch. And it's just not going to work for you, bro. It's just not going to work.
Those who can do, and those who can't complain. So, boop. Yeah. That's why we're doing Grapsody. And this person.
Beatboxing?
Nah, that's the Melvin cry for help.
I thought you were doing the Kenny Omega when he's talking to Dijak that time. Where it's like, this will give me the TV time now.
My knees is hurt, and I gotta pretend like I'm hurt, but I'm gonna hit you with the Samoa Joe in 2 seconds. I'm out of here. Why would I stand there?
Yeah. From Van Twinblade, he says Phil Brooks admits to assaulting a co-worker. The tape showed Phil Brooks assaulting a co-worker. Dumbasses. But Punk was right. I don't get to hit bigots when with my tools at work. Phil Brooks isn't allowed to hit his co-workers either. Are fanboys seriously so far up their own ass over Punk that they think anything would justify what he did? And now we all ignore the angle that was set up and the great heel work from the Bucks because we have to deal with this sycophantic losers. Yeah, that's why I'm just like, he was wrong. He was wrong to put his hands on the guy. The end. That we didn't really need to. We didn't need any real footage or anything to show that he was wrong for that. I mean, He got fired over it. Even if the story is exactly the way he said it, you still got 2 altercations there, bro. Right. Like, there's no way you were gonna not get fired after 2 physical altercations.
Physical altercations.
Yeah, and so, one, you got into a fight with your bosses, like no shade, and then you want to get into another fight with in front of your boss. No one should put their hands on anybody, period, unless someone is threatening your life or they called you a slur. And even then, I enforce that. Nah, slur get you beat up. Though. Don't call nobody a slur. You know what I mean?
Listen, man.
And I don't think that's what happened here. It's unfortunate. It's not the worst thing, and I do think that it does undermine heel work that they're trying to turn lemons out of lemonade or whatever the saying goes. But it is a little too late.
Yeah, I think it's the other way around. I think
you know what I'm trying to say. Early for me, y'all. I was out drinking dark liquor last night. Please.
Early. We got one from the homie Eloquent. He says, not going to give AEW credit because you can't convince me that they aired that footage for anything other than ratings and pettiness. And airing that video seemed to really help Jack Perry. Heard he sold out his merch. Yeah, that's a report that on his personal site he sold out of the Scapegoat shirt.
Honestly, get your money, Jack Perry.
Yeah, hey man, if this led to him making some bread, awesome.
Good for him.
From Tyrone Could, he says, "Good after morning, triple threat. I'm tired of the talk. The real sad winner of this is the clicks everyone got that ran with this. Made me dislike wrestling. Otherwise, Redfield did not run up the steps." Otherwise, Redfield did not run up the steps or ate a cheesesteak in Philly. Shame. We did have cheesesteak. I did.
I had 2.
I didn't have a cheesesteak. I'm a fraud.
I had multiple cheesesteaks.
I had 2 cheesesteaks, very delicious. But Cresta, you can still just like cross back over. Pretty not that.
Nah, I'm gonna make sure when I go to St. Louis, I don't really like barbecue sauce like that, but I'm gonna do a barbecue. I'm gonna do that St. Louis dry rub. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. So if y'all see me at Dynasty, I accept EBT, I accept Cash App.
Damn, y'all get to eat barbecue. I'm jealous.
I mean, you could come on now. No, the 3 of us together. I'm not going to Vegas. I can't afford that. I can't go to Dublin, nothing, whatever's in Vegas.
That's where I'm about to be at.
Yeah, that's a drive for you. That's a 3-hour drive for you. So
it's an 8-hour drive, but yeah.
Yo, where in California do you live? You don't live next to nothing, Reg. What the fuck?
No. I live in Oakland. I live by the beach. That's the only important thing.
By the beach, boy.
from Baba, he says, but guys, that Punk interview during WrestleMania week was a strong finger poke at AEW. The glib comments he made, I just choked someone a little. I don't think that the
Choke
footage
someone
would
a
have
little.
been released otherwise. The response was understandable. I mean, I guess I just don't think that you needed to respond to that interview. That's just my personal opinion.
Sometimes you gotta choke people a little, just a little, not a lot, just a little.
Cause I mean, I never watched that interview like, man, he's telling the truth, man. He's owning those guys. I'm like, no, this is what Punk always does. He paints himself as the main hero in the story. He makes himself look like, oh, I was the guy that walked in there and like I was the cowboy that got things done. No, I didn't think that was the truth, sir. Like otherwise you wouldn't have got fired. Like
Exactly.
That's true.
we got 2 from Christine. She says, hey everyone. Got back to Sydney yesterday after Mania week, and I loved every minute. Feeling rich. I saw y'all when I arrived at Wale Mania, but was unable to say hi. Cresta, I wish I met you too. Again, the 20-plus hour flights were worth it. Man, coming all the way over here from Sydney is crazy.
Yo,
Hopefully
you're
you
a
had a good time.
gangster.
Yeah, hopefully you had a good time. It was a good time in Philly. Hopefully everybody else that did the travel also had a good time and had a safe trip back.
Christine, technically, that makes you and AJ Styles the same person. Because
Yep.
AJ Styles took a 20-hour flight just to hate, and you came out to have
Yeah.
fun. So,
Hating and having fun is the same.
I mean, for AJ Styles, it might be one of the. He really took for a card he wasn't on just to attack one person. That's hate. That's
True.
hate. You came out here to have a good time. No hate in your heart. I hope your life gets better. Hope you find $20 on the floor.
See, one more from Christine. She says, my sister and I brought our Tongan flag to Philly, which Uncle Haku noticed at Hall of Fame. Shame
Wow.
that the debut of Tama Tonga was a week later. Well, yeah. Well, it was almost. But glad to see him show up. Shout out to the Aussies that killed it in Philly. Love to all 3 of you. Appreciate you, Christine.
Thank you. Yeah, almost caught the boy Tamatonga. Debuted last night. Very interesting stuff. I liked it.
I'm upset I didn't watch it because I love me some Tama Tonga.
Tama Tonga.
Tama Tonga.
We got 2 more Humper chats, and we are going to attempt to move on from this footage debacle. I'm sure. There he is. I knew a Nelson Muntz comment was coming. There he is. Got one from Bonahiro Ichi. I think I pronounced that correctly. A 10-second kerfuffle turned Jungle Jack into a merch mover, gave Drew even more material, people getting proper worked by Tony Schiavone, largest attendance by New Japan Strong, and most impressive of all, they made me start to like House of Torture. I hear you, but they sold them tickets to New Japan Strong before this. Let's not do that, bro. Like this come on, dog. Like, cut it out.
Let them have some.
They sold them tickets to New Japan Strong before this. Let's not act like, oh, well, that footage, man, that's what did it. No, bro, cut it out.
It's Chicago. Phil, no.
No, because the show was sold out beforehand. They come on, man. They've been promoting that show for months. From Nelson Muntz, he says, I didn't watch WWF, but isn't Jack Perry now doing the same thing as Shawn Michaels did when Brett went to WCW, taking shot at someone who is no longer in the company? Hopefully for years, AEW and Perry keep taking shots at Fragile Phil. Yeah, I mean, look, shots are shots, bro.
It's wrestling. I don't know. I guess that's why I'm so like, I don't know why people are so bent out of shape. People have been taking shots at people for years, man. Like, again, I go back to Cody with his sledgehammer breaking the King of Kings throne. And what is he now? The champion of WWE. Who's WWE? Triple H. So whose throne he was breaking? All right, it's a pipe. It's a circle. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I think that is all of our Humper chats. This is last call. We're done with the footage talk, guys.
Oh yeah, let me find the other super chats and then that's
last call.
Guys, we're out of here.
Last call for alcohol.
Last call for alcohol. I think no matter where you land on how you feel about the footage, it was engagement. And if you set out for pure engagement, you did that.
Got it.
Because we're still talking about it. Everyone's still talking about it, whether you hated it or love it.
D Hero K says Punk and Andrade said to each other, fighting back starting doesn't get you fired. Punk, well, Punk, well, what happens if I do it in front of Tony? Oh, Andrade and Punk are talking to each other saying fighting will get you fired. What happens if I do it in front of Tony? You'll get fired. It'll work.
How you
That's
know?
crazy.
How you know?
Yeah, and I think that's it.
Yeah, that is what I figured when we got into the footage talk. I figured that was going to elicit a lot of different responses. But here we are, man. Hopefully we can move on. I really just want us to move on.
Washing my
It's
hands.
all right.
Two
all right.
business weeks, I give it. Maybe next week we'll talk about it, but then something else is
Listen,
going to
man.
happen and we'll forget.
Grapsody is out.
Grapsody's done. Grapsody's like, after this, the must.
We out of here.
I'm just gonna say it now. If we're still on the timeline in 2 weeks, still talking about this, pack it up, bro. Pack it up, man.
If we talking about it next week at Dynasty, low key, high key, I'll buy you a cupcake. I will buy you a cupcake, Phil. I see you.
Let's talk about some wrestling.
Exactly. Let's get into some
raps.
Let's get into some wrestling. We had a very good show last night. Off the backs of a good show last week. I didn't get a chance to watch Sakura Genesis because it was at 3 a.m. and I was in Philadelphia, probably just getting back to the room, maybe 2 hours before that. So I was not going to stay up to watch Sakura Genesis. But we did get Windy City Riot, something that I've come to look forward to. I went last year as well. Glad that it was in the city this time and not in the burbs off in the middle of nowhere. I don't even think that the stadium that it was in last year is around anymore. I think they tore it down.
Really?
Oh, wow. Damn, Chicago going through it.
I know. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the arena that it was at in 2022, the Odeum Expo Center, is gone.
It's out. Wow.
Damn, that little grand opening, grand closing. Damn.
I've been there for years, but
That's
yeah.
an old one. What was the energy like out there with the fans?
It was a great crowd. I think that Chicago is always a crowd that's going to show up for wrestling. Chicago is a crowd that there's a reason why AEW has kind of made it their hub with the New Japan stuff, because this crowd they love the niche stuff. They love the hardcore wrestling. They're not just a WWE crowd. This is a very indie-rific, smarmy crowd. And so this crowd... so this crowd is going to show up and do all the bits, and that's why I wasn't surprised that the crowd played into all the Jack stuff, because this is Chicago. This is what we do here. Like this is the crowd that has at many points tried to hijack WWE shows with chants. Like, how long have you guys been watching wrestling come to this city? Like, I know what it is.
Chicago's always a good crowd. Chicago, New York, but like Chicago really give other places, even international crowds, a run for their money, because Chicago always with the shits.
Yeah,
that's why I'm honestly surprised y'all haven't gotten the Mania in so long.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
Because they don't want them to chant CM. Well, you can chant CM Punk
now. You can do it now.
Listen, man. Get the Mania crowd here, man. It's
okay.
Stop making me travel out of the city to go to wrestling.
Chicago is the murder capital of the world. We will not be having.
Listen, man. I'm just gonna say it now. If we somehow get a Mania, I am gonna be like walking around in the crowd like Jack Perry with the Chicago flag on my back. Like, listen, man, we're here. Mecca of Pro Wrestling. We've waited. We're here.
You gotta play the Rocky music just for you.
Just for you.
No, you gotta play something in Chicago if you're gonna. You can't be like the Rocky music.
It's got to be like Chief Keef. I don't like. I think maybe.
Black and yellow, black. No,
gotta be careful. Gotta be careful, man. But yeah, this was a good show. They had 2 pre-show matches. I did not catch the first one, but I did catch the tag match with Trish Adora and Alex Windsor taking on Mina Shirakawa and Viva Van. Mina continuing to take over the U.S. and appear more and more places. I've seen Mina 3 times within a span of a week now in person.
Oh, that's awesome. She's
so
really good.
Yeah, that was dope. Of course, the team of Alex Windsor and Trish Adora picked up the win, which is going to come into play later in the show. But we opened with Ren Narita taking on Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki's always going to get the fire reactions from the crowd. He's going to get the big Kase ni Nare. this match was great. Did what it was supposed to do. Continues to get heat on Ren Narita and that fucking push-up bar. Yeah, he got
the role later in the show.
Exactly. Played a role later in the show. He got booed. This did what it was supposed to do. Nothing really to write home about. I thought Stephanie Vaquera versus Asumi was fantastic. One of my favorite matches from last night. Never going to not be excited about seeing Asumi wrestle. She's just incredible. I thought her and Stephanie killed it. Stephanie continues to be a great, strong women's champion. It's only a matter of time before I think she gets that match with Mercedes. Totally. At least fingers crossed. I hope that's where this is going. But yeah, she won her match here against Azumi. Very good closing stretch. Afterwards, Alex Windsor came out and challenged her for the strong title. Looking forward to that match. Alex Windsor is another one that's very, very talented.
Yeah, that's going to be really good. I like the little women's division or whatever that they're building in New Japan Strong. It's really dope.
Yeah. Next up, we had the Four Corners tag team match for the Strong open weight tag match. Team of TMDK, Shane Hayes, Mikey Nichols took on Fred Rosser, Filthy Tom Lawler, and West Coast Wrecking Crew. And of course, the champions, Gorillas of Destiny, El Fantasmo, Hikuleo. Really fun match. I continue to be impressed with Hikuleo. I don't know what the plan is for him moving forward, but that guy is just such a fun big man wrestler to watch. I thought West Coast Wrecking Crew looked great as well. I've seen them a few times on indie shows, and they're just a lot of fun to watch as well. Yeah. But we've got new champions. TMDK picked up the win here, and they're the new Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions.
Very interesting choice, especially kind of playing into what happens later in the show. Maybe they're trying to build them up with championships and make them into the hottest faction in the company. Interesting things going on over there.
Yeah. Then we got biggest talking point for some people, other than, of course, the other major story to come out of the show. Jack Perry came out, and I thought he had a great entrance. He came out with the Chicago flag on his back. He had the security guards with him. And he removed the flag to reveal he had Cry Me a River on his jacket. It got all of the chants going, the Cry Me a River chants going, the Real Glass chants. The crowd was incredible throughout this. I thought the atmosphere for this match made it even better than it actually was. And the match was hidden, but the atmosphere was incredible. The heat that Jack got, it was a mixed crowd. There were people that were cheering for Jack, but man, he got some legitimate heat in there. And he played up to it really well. Like I said, when he did the match at Wintrust against Doki, I saw it then. Like, the thing that I was never worried about him being a heel is the in-ring stuff, because I knew that he knew how to play up to the crowd. He knew how to do all of the showmanship stuff of being a heel. It was just the promos that I wasn't as sure about. And I feel like the stuff in New Japan, he's very much improved doing the promos based off that stuff from the New Japan Cup.
Yeah, that's what I thought was crazy when people talk about Jack, is they're like, well, he's not really that great of a worker. I'm like, well, I think that's the only thing he doesn't really need to work on. Like, he's always been a really good worker, been great to get crowds to do things. And like, I think that going to New Japan was going to improve that anymore. But yeah, I feel the same way. Like, since he's gotten to New Japan, being able to be put into those situations where they do the immediately interview after your match and those kind of situations has made him into a better promo too. And this whole situation, I thought, is going to make Jack Perry even to a bigger person, a bigger entity, considering I always thought he should lean into the little rich kid. My dad was on this show. I'm a heel. I'm this person. And that the video gave me like, oh, Jack is really like that. Like, the vibes that he was giving CM Punk was like, dude, my dad's Luke Perry. I don't care. I'm a Hollywood kid. I don't care about this. I want to fix my hair. Like, give me some shit. Like, lean into it. And I think that's what's happening here.
I agree with that. I didn't see the show. I will say that I do enjoy when places like New Japan or even TNA will send people out to another promotion to get your wings on. And I agree with what Phil was saying. He's always been good at making people do what they want, lest we forget. Like, because we were definitely doing that for a hot minute. Like, I think this is great. He needed an edge. He's got the edge, and all things considered, if you intertwine real life with kayfabe, it makes perfect sense. And I can't wait for him to be with the Bucks, and I cannot wait for him to be insufferable. And to me, this is leading towards Tony being an on-screen character, maybe, but he's not Vince, and I don't want that.
I do not want Tony as an on-screen character. No, thank you.
I don't, but I feel like that's where it's leading, because then if he got fired because, or if Punk got fired because of this, then why are we still saying he's the scapegoat? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it has to lead somewhere, because that would then make Tony the op. And
I think they're using the Bucks to represent Tony.
Yes. The thing. Yeah, I
so
think
that makes Jack Perry the good guy here, the baby face.
No, but
I think gonna work?
I think this is leading to him going back and joining the Elite at some point. And I think that the payoff to that is going to be good. I thought the stuff that Shota and Jack did in this match were incredible. Jack doing several things to play into the crowd. At one point, the crowd started chanting, "You got choked out," to other people in the crowd saying, "No, you didn't." And then he proceeded to put Shota in the same guillotine hold that Punk put him in the video. I thought that was very funny.
I love it.
He continues to do the knee strike, which he starts calling the glass jaw knee strike, which I think is a fantastic name for a finisher. But at one point, the crowd was chanting GTS at him, and he did acquiesce. He did the go to sleep motion, and he tried to do the GTS, and that's what cost him the match. Trying to ham it up to the crowd and trying to play into the Punk stuff, that cost him the match, because Shota countered out of it, hit him with a Death Rider, picked up that big W.
Really good stuff. I love the work that I was interested to see how the crowd was going to react. But like you said, Chicago is going to be Chicago regardless. And they gave up exactly what I thought they would give up. Jack playing into it, because that's all he can really do, like, is like trying to capitalize off of this video. Because like whatever role he played into, should we play this video, what's going to happen with everybody kind of involved in this video, like the only thing he could do is just lean into it. So I'm happy that it's kind of going like this. I think it's gonna keep going even higher, honestly.
Yeah, I think coming out of this, I was really happy for Jack. I was really happy that he got the reaction that he wanted out of this. I was happy that this showed that the New Japan run has worked out for him, and that the time away, people missed him. I think if anything, like, even if you want to attribute the reaction last night to the footage, I think a big part of this is that people just missed him. I think people wanted to see this guy wrestling in America again, and he got the reaction out of this to show like this guy's still going to have a strong career.
Yep. Like he hasn't even hit his prime yet. He hasn't even started.
He hasn't even hit a stride. I'm happy for him. And even like you said, even if you think that this footage pushed it, in essence, the footage did do Perry. I think the footage did for Perry what they thought it was going to do for everybody. Yeah. But I think the footage only benefited Perry. And good for him. Good for him, though.
Yeah. Because this could have, all of that time off TV, it could have hurt him, because he was gone for, 6-7 months.
Yeah.
And I think that this really showed that once he comes back to AEW, they have a lot of material that they can use, and he's going to get good reactions.
Mm-hmm.
So happy for him. Super happy for him. We got Mustafa Ali taking on Hiromu Takahashi in the next match. This match was really, really good. It's what I expected out of both of these guys. I don't know when Ali got busted open, but at some point he got a little bit of color. It was awesome. I don't know, like just his entrance, the way he comes out with the security guards, the way he addressed the crowd. Really, really good. Some of this stuff I can see it not being for you if you don't understand Hiromu's character and the Daryl stuff. But I thought the Daryl stuff was very funny. I thought Ali played into it really well. Really enjoyed this.
Yeah, Ali in these spots has been great, but I was particularly looking forward to this match because I know both of these guys just go 100 miles per hour. Ali doing this, whatever gimmick he's doing right now is really good because he already kind of like Jack Perry. He already has the in-ring stuff is 100%. It's the other stuff that I think that he needed to try to improve on, and he's improved on that tenfold. Like I think Ali right now is like a complete pro wrestling superstar. It's like I don't know. He's about to be world champion somewhere, and if he ain't, like, he need to be.
I think he's X Division champion right now in TNA, and Jake something's about to challenge him, and he's like, that man's too big. Ain't no get out of here. He mad big. He don't even got a last name. Fuck is you talk about? I do love this political thing where it's like, and Ali. Imagine if they let him do that in the Fed. Because I've been watching since 205 Live, and like you said, he always had it in the ring.
Yeah,
he always had it in the ring. This is top tier work from Ali.
Yeah, I really like the finishing sequence where he went into that move where he lifted himself back up onto the top rope and hit the 450 fire. Really cool move. This is what we're expecting from Hiromu. He's a multiple-time junior heavyweight champion, and Ali's one of those guys where I don't feel like people realize just how good he can be in the ring.
Right.
Then we got the big Riot Rules match, which was basically just like a big street fight. I feel like the reveal of all of the people in the match was hotter than the actual match itself.
Yeah, totally.
Because I think when the Bullet Club guys came out and Gabe Kidd brought all of his guys out, David Finlay, Kenta, of course, and Clark Connors, I was just like, oh, yeah, cool. The guys are here. The lads are here. And, of course, Eddie Kingston came out and brought his crowd, his guys. He had TJP, Jeff Cobb, and, of course, Homicide. Homicide got a great reaction. But, yeah, it was pretty much run-of-the-mill street fight stuff.
There were some really cool spots throughout, like the table spots and Jeff Cobb doing his thing, but it was mostly just like the brawling around the arena, punching type thing. Like, the vibes felt better than like the actual match did. I love the heat at the end with Eddie Kingston and Gabe Kidd, though, like them finally getting the face off. They start to go into the strike exchanges, and eventually they overcome and beat Eddie Kingston just down. I like what they're doing there. It's leading to a one-on-one match with Eddie Kingston and Gabe Kidd at the show that I'll be at May 11th. So I thought that was great, but for the most part, the match was just like, okay, this is a brawl.
I feel like Eddie Kingston should never lose a street fight. I just feel like,
but he kind of always does.
Yeah. I feel like any type of brawl or street fight, Eddie Kingston should just be winning. It just makes sense his character.
Well, Bullet Club did pick up the win here, unfortunately for Eddie. But I've really enjoyed the Gabe and Eddie dynamic. I think all the stuff they've been doing in Japan and on the show is really good. I think leading to the one-on-one match for the strong title, it's been hot. I think that the after-match scuffle they had beforehand that got to this was really hot. Eddie's great. Gabe Kidd is great. I just continue to believe that Gabe is one of the best members of current Bullet Club.
Definitely should be the actual leader. I don't understand like why David Finlay's doing this. But then they announced it's going to be a no rope last man standing match for the New Japan Strong Championship. So that should be pretty good.
Yeah. A-Shock made a very good point. I can't find it now because I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and then now I've lost it in the midst of the chat. But lest we not forget, when this show was first announced, Ali was the first big name announced in Chicago.
Right.
That's why the ticket sold. And that's why earlier when we're like, oh, well, the footage did that. No, this show already had sold out. Like, don't wash over what Ali did. Ali is proven that he's a draw, and people bought tickets to see him. I don't think it's fair to then say now, because the footage is the topic, that's what sold tickets.
Chicago's more than just CM Punk. Ali is a Chicago native, and he's very, very vocal about that. So
popping out there.
Yeah. So that was a good point from Ali, from A-Shock. That Ali did help sell the tickets initially for the show. We got Zack Sabre Jr. versus Matt Riddle for the New Japan World Television Championship.
Very interesting match.
I was very surprised by the outcome of this.
Right.
I did not know what to make. I was happy because Zack Sabre Jr. is fantastic. He had a fantastic run with this belt before he lost it to Tanahashi. I didn't understand why he lost it to Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom. And so I was like, oh, great, he's got his belt back. But Buddy sitting watching the end of this, I was like, what's going on here? What happened? And the match was good. The match was very good.
Really good. I thought, yeah.
That's why I got this confused look. Like, was the match good?
Because Zack Sabre, the whole story was Zack Sabre Jr. lost the belt to Tanahashi, and he was like, cool, I'm going to challenge for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. I'm done with this belt. But then they tried to play the story of Matt Riddle wants to challenge Zack Sabre to prove something. But then Zack Sabre just beat him, and it was like, oh, okay, that's all right. I thought he didn't want that belt anymore, but he got that belt back. And then they have to play it like Zack Sabre does want the belt, though, so you don't think that it's just kind of confusing, the whole thing to me.
Yeah, but really now I understand the faces now. Now I get it. I'm just like,
well,
not for nothing. How can you prove something to Zack Sabre Jr., Matt Riddle? No shade. No shade. Well, Zack Sabre Jr. is different. He's different.
Yeah. So, very good match. I thought the holds and stuff that we got, the exchanges in it were really good. Zack Sabre
manipulating Matt's feet. No, people are into that.
Wear some shoes. That's what happens when you don't wear shoes. I'm sorry. I like Speedball, but I got the same smoke for Speedball
same
too.
Thing.
When you don't wear shoes, someone's gonna step on your toe, and now you're mad. Like, that's not fair. Wear some shoes.
So the match itself was very good. Zack is the best in the world at this technical wrestling thing, wrapping you up like a pretzel and folding you all up. He's the best at that, and so wasn't surprised that he can get a good match out of somebody else that has the great match style like Matt Riddle does. Where this got a little bit bizarre is the finish to this match. The finish was very abrupt, and afterwards, Matt Riddle kind of no-sold this loss. He
just starts walking out. He's like slapping hands with everybody. He's handshaking. He starts taking pictures. Like, I was like, why is he like? He just rolls out of the ring and he's just like, and then he just like starts slapping hands with everybody.
It was so strange. And so it was like I was on the high of Zack Sabre winning and him having his belt back, but then I was looking around like, this is kind of strange. This guy just won the title in January. We got a very short and uneventful reign, and then he lost this way. It was weird. Like,
I don't know if it was a bit though, Phil, because on TV they're showing the camera angle is showing Zack, but in the back you can see Matt Riddle giving it up to everybody. I'm like, what's he just lost? Like, shouldn't he didn't sell or anything? Like, it was just like the match is over.
To dap up the crowd and leave.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on
here? I don't know, man. I don't know what happened here, man. But
I forgot about that. That was so funny. He just starts like taking pictures. I'm like, that's not how you're supposed to sell losing a match, dude.
Yeah, very, very strange outcome to this, but very excited about Zack Sabre Jr. being champion again. Should have never lost the belt, in my opinion. And this was a fire match. I thought the match was great. Looking forward to the next match. It looks like he's going to be taking on Jeff Cobb soon. Yeah. And that's going to be some heat. So, yeah.
I could see Matt Riddle not coming back. I don't know what that was. That looks like an exit from this company.
I can very much see Matt Riddle not wrestling for New Japan again after this. Based on, and maybe we're misreading it, but that was so bizarre. Like, what?
Maybe they were too stiff over there for him.
There was a situation with Austin Aries and TNA and Impact with John Morrison. Yeah. Remember, he loses the match and then he just
got up and said
he just essentially just rolled out and left. And Matt Riddle did like his version of that. Like, he didn't flip nobody off, but he was just like, I don't care. Like, match over.
I lost, baby. Wrestling's fake. I'm out of here. That's crazy.
Really weird.
Very strange finish to the match, but yeah, very good match. Then we got Nick Nemeth taking on Tomohiro Ishii.
This is also weird. Seeing Nick Nemeth do a strike exchange with Ishii is like, that
don't make no sense. My brain can't fathom that. Like,
I mean, yeah. Fair play to Nick Nemeth. I did not know what his post WWE run would look like, but I loved this match. I thought this match was one of the best matches of the night. I think the strike exchanges hit. All of the power up spots and the comeback spots from Nemeth were great. The kicking out at 1 and popping back up with the fighting spirit, hot. Dude, I thought this was great.
It's cliche at this point, but Nick Nemeth's bumping is just like, dude, he's still so good at that shit, man.
He looks like he's getting the shit beat out of him for the most normalest stuff. Like,
the normalest thing. It's like that's a regular bump, but he makes it look amazing.
He was selling the hell out of all of Ishii's moves. He made Ishii look incredible. Not that you got to do much to make this guy look great because he's a legend, but I thought they went out there and had a great match. I really loved this match.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of Nick Nimitz things and it just felt like, oh, he's doing, Dolph Ziggler still. But no, this felt like he's in a New Japan match against a New Japan legend and he's doing all the things we would see in a strong style New Japan main event and like adding his flavor to it. I'm like, man, this is so fun. It's just like a super fun match.
Yeah, I really like this match. And maybe I just didn't have like these like high expectations for it. And more I was sitting there watching, I was like, yo, this is hitting.
By the end, it like got this is awesome chance feels so manufactured for the most part. And by the end, this one felt like a well-deserved one. But for the most part, this is awesome. Might be the worst chant, I think, at this point.
Yeah, this was a very fun match for me. Then we got the main event, Jon Moxley taking on Tetsuya Naito for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. I just think there was just something special about it coming in. Naito wrestling in Chicago. The crowd was into both of these guys straight away. Mox did it again, man. Mox in Chicago is different, man. Mox is your new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. This is his third world title match win in Chicago.
It's crazy.
Won 2 AEW world titles here. One was at that building at Revolution, the first Revolution, I believe. And then, of course, he won when he beat Tanahashi at the first Forbidden Door. And now here, won IWGP title.
That's great.
Yeah, he's now the first guy to have held the IWGP title, WWE title, and AEW title.
Dude, that's crazy.
Moxley's him right now.
I think it's honestly perfect fitting. Like Jon Moxley represents. If you just say that and like which wrestler is this? Like, oh, probably Moxley. Yeah, he just represents like all of that so much. The win, the match, all of it felt right. Like when somebody was like, why would they give it to an AEW wrestler? Like Moxley is so different than just
Moxley transcends just one promotion, and it makes you feel like, how did you fumble this back, Fed? Holy crap! Because Moxley is so good. How did you fumble this? I feel the same way about Mercedes. How did you fumble that?
Well, Moxley, I just knew he wanted to do something different, and what he's doing is why. Like he just doesn't want to be held down to anything. And
he's not the Fed style, and I respect that.
Yeah,
I like this match a lot, though. Him, of course, bleeding. Naito coming into it. My favorite thing about Naito as a character is like there's a thing in wrestling called boo boo face, and it's like you kind of know that you're losing your belt. You kind of know what this like. He does that you never know when he's gonna lose his belt because that's always his expression. Like you would never know. It's like, oh, that's just regular Naito, and like he just plays it off so well.
Naito is just Naito, man. He always comes in with this aura to him, man. Like comes in, he's always the most well dressed guy on the card. Yep. He just kind of throws the belt in the middle of the ring. Like I don't really need your belt. Like I'm dope no matter what we do. I don't need that.
Exactly. Man. That's why like the win's great, but it doesn't feel bad on Naito because it's like
he's Teflon at this point. It's Naito.
It's the same way you feel about Rainmaker, Okada. Yep. Okada could win or lose. You'd be like, okay, but that's still Okada.
He's gonna be fly forever. It don't matter. You can do whatever.
Yeah. So, but I thought the way they worked this match was really good. At several points, Naito spitting in Mox's face and Mox hulking up and going, nah, not up in here.
He kissed me in the face, but not spit on me.
Yeah, hit. Some people are into spitting, Creston. I don't know.
This is a Christian stream.
Not personally for me, but some people into that.
Not personally for me either. I'm trying to keep the sponsors intact.
But yeah, man, just so many spots where
try anything once.
Mox.
Shut up, Reg. We trying to talk about grabs. Please shut up, Reg.
Yeah, but there's so many spots here where Naito would do something disrespectful, and Mox was just not having it. At one point, Mox went for a dive, and out of nowhere, Naito just like slammed a chair clean into his face. I was like, where did that even come from?
Yeah, man. It was a hard chair shot too.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I thought all of the stuff on the apron was great. The final stretch where they were going back and forth, hitting the finishers, really cool stuff. I thought that that false finish at one point when Mox hit the stomp, I was like, oh, is that it?
The stomp was sick. Yeah, the
Really,
Death Rider on the apron was insane. Naito's
yeah.
the way that his neck is like your neck shouldn't. You shouldn't be doing these
Your neck
things.
shouldn't move like that.
Shouldn't move
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, the finishing stretch of him just Death Rider just pounding Naito until the end was like great. And the visual of Mox, of course, being busted open and holding the championship, like this is just such a Jon Moxley way to win the championship.
Yeah, the thing that I love about Moxley as a character is that as much as we've seen this guy win, we've just gone across across his title wins just in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would think coming into this, he's what, 2-1 in world title matches coming into here. I think he only lost the match to Punk at All Out, but he was already champion.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you would think at this point we wouldn't keep counting this guy out, but he still does this thing where he'll win and he's just like super defiant. He's flipping off everybody that counted him out. Like, oh, y'all really thought that dude was going to win? Y'all thought this guy was going to beat me? Fuck out of here. I am champion, bro.
He does bring that energy. He's like, I told you guys I was going to come in here and beat this guy's ass and take his championship like that. The promo leading up to it was really awesome of him being like, I've only had one IWGP championship match, and that's all I'm going to need. Like, I'm about to beat this fool's ass in Chicago and take his belt. And that's exactly what he did.
I love it. I love just how matter-of-factly him and Claudio do things. Him and Claudio both have this way of like, no, I'm just going to get in there and I'm going to beat this guy's ass and I'm going to win. That's it.
Yeah.
Like is the same way. That's why, to me, that's why BCC
that's why they're a gang.
They're like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not going to talk. What I'm going to talk, I'm going to beat you up.
No, we're here for the graps. We're here to beat people up. We're here to talk a little shit afterwards. That's it. And
Serena Deeb won. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's what makes Mox so great. Just that image, like Red said, of him winning with his face covered in blood, and he's flipping everybody off, and he's like doing a hulking up and shit. It's just so great. It was just such a cool moment, man. Really a historic moment, like to see like the first AEW guy win that belt in Chicago, like I said, in kind of the hub for AEW. I have to imagine this is leading to something for Forbidden Door.
I think so.
Is it me? Am I getting disconnected? Am I lagging out?
Are you?
I can still hear you.
I can still hear you too.
Yo, you guys went to Megatron for me and everyone's frozen.
Oh no.
Sounds okay over here.
But yeah, I thought this was a strong show. I was excited for this show coming in, but I thought that this was great, man. Really great show. I'm sure some people are going to feel a way about them taking the belt off of Naito again and he's not going to get a long run again. But I just don't think that fits who Naito is.
Right.
Naito's not the guy that gets the long runs. That's kind of an Okada thing.
He was kind of like when he won the championship, it was like, well, he'll probably lose it in not that many months. It's kind of the same way that we're going to get into it here now of Cody. It's like, I don't think Cody is going to be like this 5-year championship reign. Like, no, he's going to like get in and like, they're just going to start going for it because the Cody's thing, I think, is in the chase. And Naito's thing is kind of that too. It's like in the chase of like, he wants it, but he also doesn't want it. But that's part of the charm of it.
Yeah. I think we officially
lost Cresta for good. Yeah.
But yeah, very strong show. I came away from it. I had a great time. I somehow was not burned out in the last 2 weekends of going to see a lot of wrestling and probably planning to go and see some live wrestling again next weekend. Why not?
Sick individual. But no, New Japan has been putting on some really strong, pun intended, shows here in America. And that one was like you said, there's this really great connection they have with Chicago, but that show felt like, I don't know, it felt like extra or something. Like I think there was a lot of build up to it and they just executed it.
Yeah, for sure. We are going to get into some WrestleMania talk and some after effects of WrestleMania. But before that, I'm going to hit you with a word from our sponsors.
BetOnline.ag is the official betting partner of Fightful. 100% of the time when you get the odds from Fightful, they are coming from BetOnline.ag. And it's not just wrestling, it's not just MMA and boxing, it's football, it's basketball, baseball, hockey. They have the earliest lines. You can bet big with the high limits and rebet functionality. They have the fastest payouts with winnings paid in minutes and the industry's best bonuses on every qualifying deposit. They've been trusted for 25 plus years. It's not some fly-by-night company. BetOnline AG has been there. They've done that. In addition, they're trusted by millions. They've got VIP rewards programs and a ton of popular games. BetOnline.ag, that's where I go to make my bets. That's where I suggest you go to, my friends. Please just bet what you can and bet responsibly.
Please bet responsibly, but if you're looking for a place for your betting needs, betonline.ag is the place to go. Cressa is in her chat. I don't know if Cressa's going to come back. She did say that she had a solid 2 hours for us, and she might be peacing out. So, she pops back in. Great. If she doesn't, she might have just
thanks,
gave
Cressa.
y'all the deuces. But as always, Cressa's a joy to have on the show. She's always a blast to talk wrestling with. WrestleMania 40 is in the books. We were in Philadelphia. I was at both nights. It was a good time. I wondered going into this, of course, the biggest question, are they going to stick the landing on this? Can they get us to the promised land? Can Cody finish the story? We got our answer, and I thought it was the right outcome. I don't think that there was any other way we could end this. We talked about this several times. This was the right way to go into it. But I thought night 2 was overall the better show. I came away from night 2 really excited about the wrestling I saw. Night 1 was fine too. I think there was more stuff on night 1 that didn't really personally hit for me. I liked more of the in-ring stuff on night 1. And that's not to say that there weren't good matches on the first night. It's just that, I don't know, some of it just wasn't really hitting.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like as a whole, I think the points hit, but night 1 kind of felt like it dragged, and that's crazy because it's the first night.
It did. I think it was a few matches, like particularly like the main event, felt like it was a bit long.
Yeah.
It felt like parts of it it was a lot where it didn't feel like a lot was happening. And that's not, I didn't hate the night 1 main event, but it was a lot slower than some of the rest of the show.
Right.
I thought stuff like the opener, Rhea versus Becky, was good. I enjoyed that match. The ladder match was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And I thought we got the right outcome from both of those. I thought we all kind of assumed that Awesome Truth was going to win. But come away from it, I was like, yeah, it makes sense to put the belts on Waller in theory. There are 2 heels that can get the best out of this. And, we're both Waller guys. I think Waller's going to do great with this. Waller was getting his shit off when the footage stuff was coming out. And I saw people get mad at him. Just like, but that's what a wrestler does. He's going to try and get heat off of it. And he's done that really well. So, but I thought the ladder match was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it felt like one of those classic TLC back in the day Hardy Boy, Edge and Christian Dudley Boys type. Yeah. This was some I was scared plunder moments of like, yo, hey, you guys be careful out there.
Yeah.
JD McDonough took that wild front bump.
Oh my God.
Tables. I was like, yo.
Oh my God. Yeah. I definitely at several points was like, guys, please be careful.
Yeah. I'm like, I know what we're doing here, but like we can maybe relax. But no, if you want like plunder, TLC, just craziness, this was that shit. But I did love that we finally got these fucking championships split.
Oh my God. Thank God. It was time. It was time to separate those belts. I'm glad that coming into this, we expected that was part of the reason why they did the ladder match this way, so they could that they could do this. And very much glad that not only are we done with the Judgment Day run, but also that they finally split those belts up.
Yeah, they didn't do like we thought it could potentially be like one tag team grabs it and then another. Like they were like, no, there's 2 separate things over here. Like these are these and these are these, which I liked a lot. They like, no, this is split. This is all this is. This is what's going on. Awesome Truth and Miz. I like the moment for Truth, but like them as champions, I no interest.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do anything but give Truth his flowers, man.
Yes.
The fact that he's still going at this point, he just had a major injury a year ago.
He did.
And he's back, and he got a WrestleMania moment. I think that, for whatever you can say about the comedy stuff, it might not hit for everybody, but man, what a class act R-Truth is, man.
And
He's
his
super
bits
happy for
hit
him.
in this, like doing the
he's
tag,
very
and
funny.
everything. You know what I mean? Like they always go off.
Yeah, I thought he was one of the highlights of this match for sure. In this match where everybody's doing these big high spots, and then he's bringing his comedy and his energy to it.
Smart.
What
Smart
a
way
guy,
to
man.
not take bumps. I would be a comedy guy too at his age.
What a guy. Definitely going to eventually be a WWE Hall of Famer someday, and it's well deserved.
Easily.
The other tag match, it was there. I mean, it was cool for what it was. Rey Mysterio and Andrade took on Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom. This was cool. It was where we got our obligatory celebrity spot with the Philadelphia Eagles players in there.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It wasn't really.
The whole match felt kind of forced. They were like, we got to get all these people on the card. And I like all these people on it, but it's just like it wasn't too much to the match, you know?
Yeah. Kind of probably the more controversial of the night one matches was Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. And started hot. I was excited to see Lil Wayne when he came out. I was like, oh, great. He came out, did a milli. There were some sound issues with it.
Always will be in hip hop. They just can't get it right.
But I thought it was a hot way to start the match. I mean, and speaking of, I did say this with the Rhea match, starting with the live band doing Rhea's
awesome
entrance. That was awesome. I thought that was a great way to open WrestleMania. But yeah, this was not a popular entrance apparently online. A lot of people didn't like the Wayne entrance.
I wouldn't think so.
I thought it was cool. It was mostly just me excited to see Wayne.
I like Wayne, so he could have did anything. Wayne with bad audio is still going to be great to me because it's Wayne.
And I thought it was a cool moment for Jay. It just based off of what he's done with the bloodline and moving him on to a main event guy. This made him feel like a main event guy, and then the match started in.
Phil, we can run a super cut of me talking about this match. I've never wanted this match. When they started teasing it, when they started teasing them, break it up, don't want this. Why are they doing this? When they started talking, well, these guys really want to do a match against each other. But why though? Because I knew what was going to happen. And then the match happened. I was like, dude, this is why. What?
This is why.
It's like, I get what you guys are trying to do, but like,
yeah, I mean, I get the legacy of having sibling matches at WrestleMania, and you're celebrating the 40th anniversary. I get that, those two have been a big part of the bloodline stuff. So there was logic to this, and I get those two wanting to have that moment of wrestling each other on that big stage. This match just did not hit for me.
It did not hit at all.
And I didn't have like these high expectations for it. I thought it was just going to be, this will just be fine. And I came away from it like, that was just not really for me, man.
I mean, if you were trying to, like we were talking about earlier, nail in the coffin that you guys need to get back together, great display. Like, if this was what now the point of this was, you did it, because I do not want to see this.
Yeah, and I like both of these guys. I'm a big fan of both of them, but this was just
as a tag team, they're one of my favorite tag teams of all time. Like, I'm hammering that point home because I think they're so great as a tag team, and I think this company just needs them together as a tag team. And that match showed us that we don't really need them one-on-one. Like, and I think we might need you've said it a few times, but Jey Uso, the main event Jey, we might need to have a conversation. I think he was almost world champion, Phil. They almost gave it to him over Cody.
I never believed that he was gonna be the guy that beat Roman, and
people wanted that.
Stuff in this match has kind of shown me that was kind of short-sighted. I don't think it's a good sign that now when you gave him two big pay-per-view matches as a singles wrestler, they're not well received, because people did not like that SummerSlam match with Roman, and people did not like this match.
Somebody brought, maybe it was Ibu. Somebody online brought up a good point of when initially Roman turned on Jey, his promos and his character were it was something special, was something going on. He had passion in it, but now he's just like, now he's just like a character, and it's like, it reflects in the matches too. Like, he's just like, throwing punches so people can yell yeet, and like so most of the match is just punches. It's like something when he switched his character, like he didn't bring all the stuff we grew to love from him
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
over with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a good point.
That yeet
But
shit is just like it makes you're so over, but it's like
super over.
what's behind it though?
Bro, that visual of him waving with the crowd, that it was hidden.
Yeah.
Like I said, everything going into the match, the visuals, him coming down with Wayne, all of that was hidden. That video package they aired before, that video package was fire, man.
Mm-hmm.
The match itself just did not live up to the hype, man.
Whoa, what's happening here?
Yeah.
But I knew it.
Yeah. We got the 6-woman tag match after this. The big three of Bianca, Jade Cargill, and Naomi took on Damage Control. I thought the entrance for both of these teams was great. I thought just that visual of seeing the three of them, their silhouette coming up, and then all three of them doing their entrance together. Man, these three black women look like stars, man. It was really cool to see them on such a big stage, and all the spectacle around it, especially for this being Jade's first WrestleMania match. I thought it was really cool.
And I thought, if we're talking just entrances, like number one right here, y'all win. Like there's nobody's winning. y'all did it.
This entrance was one of my favorite of the weekend. I thought that they looked like massive stars. The match was pretty much what we'd expected.
I'm like, speaking of this entrance, what you thought of your boy Mark Henry? What Phil, honestly, I'm still confused as to what happened.
I don't know why.
I talked about it on the show. Like, I feel like you could feel this way, right? Mark Henry could feel exactly how he wants, but go and talk to them about it then. Like, if you felt like the wrestlers disrespected, you can go and talk to the wrestlers. Why are you in front of a crowd being like, these wrestlers these days are so blah, blah, blah? That makes it look worse. I didn't even notice. You're the one that brought it to our attention.
Yeah, I didn't understand why he was so upset. And even when I watched the clip, I was just like, yeah, I still don't get it. I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah, I thought Damage Control had a good entrance as well. I thought it was funny thinking about the interview I did with Dakota and EO, and how Dakota was like, yeah, I didn't know they were changing our theme song until, I heard it coming in. I was like, that's kind of funny. It's just like you just came in, all of a sudden there's Japanese lyrics to your theme song. I'm like, okay, all right. But yeah, I thought that this was cool. I thought that the members of Damage Control came off looking good. Not for nothing. If you're one of those people that are like, Damage Control loses a lot, so what was really the purpose? I think this weekend proved just how successful Damage Control was as a stable, because it got all 4 members into big spots on this card on both nights. You got a Royal Rumble winner out of both nights. You got a Royal Rumble winner out of this. You got a Money in the Bank winner out of it. 2 champions. So, I mean, all in all, as a story and everything, this was very successful for them.
I think when we look back in 20 years, they're going to be one of the most successful groups in WWE history, honestly, with like just the accolades that you gave up, like being on both nights of the show and big matches, and like all the accolades, the wins, and how Damage Control at one point was on Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Yeah. They were on every show.
Two Survivor Series matches based on them as the bad guys.
Yeah. That's as successful as you get, especially in WWE,
Yeah, but yeah, I thought that both teams had a good interest. The match was basically what I expected. It was kind of a showcase to get the big 3 over, and they looked great. I thought Jade looked great on that stage. And they predictably got the W. I don't know where we go from there, but man, they planted a lot of story seeds. Just because I could tell how WWE frames things. Just going back and looking how they framed Jade and Bianca in the ring together at Royal Rumble with the sign behind them, and I'm just like, okay, this is leading somewhere. After the match, when Jade was the one that got the pin and Bianca was the first one to run up to her and hyped her up, I was like, just the way they're framing this, I see it. She is definitely going to turn on her. There's no doubts about it. Jade is going to turn on Bianca. It's coming.
I was going to say, after last night, I'm still with you too, because last night on SmackDown, they teamed up together against Chelsea and Piper, and I'm even more with you. I'm like, oh, this is leading to a big match with these two.
Yeah, Jade is going to turn on her. It's only a matter of time. I think the fact that they're in character calling themselves the Big Three, and I'm like, they're lining that Kendrick line up. It's only a matter of time before we get a video package and Jay's doing the line of ain't no Big Three, it's just Big Me.
And I know it's coming, and it's gonna hit so hard. Like we know it's coming, and it's gonna hit so hard.
Yeah, I thought they were one of the best parts of the press conference after night one as well. Just their chemistry together. It seemed like they were having a lot of fun together. They showed a lot
all the
of
photos
character.
they've been posting together and
Yeah.
everything that they've been doing. I'm like, this is just so great.
Yeah. I think they're gonna get as much out of this as they can for now. It can't hurt to have Jade in there with someone as experienced as Bianca as well.
Yep.
But it's coming. Eventually she's going to turn on her.
If you really need to learn the WWE style, the WWE system, who better than to go on a run than Bianca? You know?
Yeah, who better?
Who
But
better?
yeah, this this was great for what it was. I enjoyed it. We got Big Sam Zayn. You talking about getting hyped for a match. I was sitting there like, all right, well, this is what we got. I hate that Gable didn't get his moment. But I'm hoping that Sammy gets the win. This was all erased when they followed him through that tunnel, and he was talking to Chad, and then he got to Gorilla, and Kevin Owens was standing there, and he hyped him up. I was like, nah,
It was over.
Nah, Sammy's got to win. We're up, bro.
I was like, same with you. I'm like, man, this Chad Gable win would have hit really hard. And
Yeah.
Sam Zayn, that's my boy. I love him. Him and Kev, those are my guys. But then he got to Kev, and I was like, all right, no man, we on board.
Yeah, when he hyped him up before he went out there, I was ready to run through a wall. I was like, yeah,
Right.
it's Big
Like,
Sam.
no, they
time,
made
bro.
the right choice. Just with this 15 seconds worth of clip, you got me in. We Team Zayn.
He hyped him up. He came out with his music. I was just like, nah, we're out of here, bro.
We're going out.
It's Sammy time, and the match was very good.
Of course.
Because it's Gunther. Gunther don't have bad matches.
Yeah.
And
And
I
Sam
thought
Zayn's the ultimate underdog. Like those elements are just like you can't not have a great match with these two.
I thought the execution to this was very good. I thought telling the story that Gunther has gotten too cocky. He's the guy that's beating everybody by just keeping it to the book. And in this match, he had him beat several times. And he kept showboating. He kept taunting his wife. He kept trying to play up the theatrics, and that's stuff that he doesn't do. And it's ultimately what cost him the match. He kept hamming it up until Sammy got his comeback, and I thought his comeback spot was great. I thought that the reaction to it was great. Really happy for him.
Yeah, that's the top rope brainbuster. There's some things that were played into in this match that were like, it's crazy that I never thought when he got signed. Like there's some things of like we used to exist in a time where independent wrestlers would get signed. Like they're gonna change everything about him. And when he got first signed in 2008 or something, I don't know, 2009, 11, however long it's been. There was like, I'll never ever see this move in WWE on any scale. And to know that at WrestleMania 40, he hit it to go on and win the Intercontinental Championship is like, dude, wrestling is insane. But yeah, a lot of people are saying that's their favorite match of the whole weekend of WrestleMania. So, I mean, we knew what they were going to do and they did it.
Yeah, I can understand people to feel that way. I thought that closing stretch was really good. Like you said, with the brain buster on the top rope, that was really good. And then some of the haluva kick spot he hit as well. Love Sami Zayn. Really happy for him, man. I still want to see him win a world title, but this was just such a great moment for him. Just really happy for him.
That's what's so great about, we're about to get into it with Cody winning, but like just how it changes everything. Like it feels like it makes everything fresher. Like now Sami Zayn is a contender. Now Kevin Owens is a contender. Like all these people now become contenders because everything's opened up.
Got the tag team match, which is billed as the best tag team match ever. Going into the close of night one. This was what we expected as well. Big entrances. 20 minutes worth of entrances. I thought The Rock's entrance was incredible, which we knew. We knew it was gonna be.
Still confused with the belt. They explained it, and I'm still like, well, why did he bring it? Though?
What is this belt? Like, because I didn't watch the Hall of Fame, I was confused. I was like, why does he have a belt?
I was like, I missed some point that he's been awarded this belt, but like, when I got up and I was like, why does he have this belt and why is he holding it high and why is he facing off with it? What is going on here? Like, I understand even when we figured out like, oh, Muhammad Ali, the family, but still, why did he bring it here though to this?
I was very confused by that, but his entrance was incredible.
Sorry.
I mean, I was a big Rock fan growing up. Just being in the arena, seeing him get that big entrance in Philly, seeing him wrestle in Philly in person, really, really cool moment. Roman and Cody, of course, they had their big entrances as well. My guy came out with like the biggest like robe or whatever that was with the huge flower on it. I thought all of the visuals of the beginning of this match were cool. Just that moment of both teams staring off in the middle of the ring, really, really cool. Just the build up of all the story we've gotten for weeks, really cool moment. The Roman match formula, man. When he comes back, I hope they retool it because it's just like it's the
only thing I care about at this point. Like, please.
I just hope they retool it because just the way that he works his matches, and then you added The Rock in it doing the holds and doing the shenanigans out of the ring. There were several parts of this match where the pace just grinded to a halt, and I was just like, bro, get to the action. I really felt like Cody and Rollins carried this match. And don't get me wrong, Rock was great in the spots where he was bumping. I did not think Rock was going to come out and bump as much as he did.
Right.
He did a table bump at one point. Fair play to him. He did a few big spots that really hit, but I thought all of the creative stuff that Cody and Rollins did, that's when I was into the match. Bro, when they started playing up the Buck stuff and playing up that Elite connection, I was like, oh, bro, let's get it. When I feel like at one point, I don't remember when on this show, somebody sent us a super chat about how bad the Cody Cutter looks. It never looks good. And I feel like ever since then, the Cody Cutter looks incredible.
That was, I don't know if that was number one, but right now that feels like number one. That people's elbow, Cody Cutter counter. I screamed.
That was great. I thought the spot where Cody hit the rope walk back and forth into the Cody Cutter, and then Rollins followed it with the frog splash. That hit very much reminded me of the way Nick Jackson jumps from rope to rope. I cannot see that not being intentional. And when they did it, I called the next spot. I was like, they're gonna do super kick party. And so when they did it, I was like, of course.
Cody doing super kicks is so funny.
Yeah, did the super kicks party, did the stereo pedigrees. I thought that was a great spot as well. But wasn't enough to get the win here. Rock pulled up the win by hitting Cody with the people's elbow in the middle of the ring. Cody,
that's when I knew what time it was for the next day.
Cody did the same dejected spot that he did from last year. We sat in the middle of the ring, almost in the exact same spot, the same facial expressions. They framed it the same way. I was like, oh yeah, Cody's winning.
Yep.
When I saw that, I was like, we're here now. Cody's winning. But I thought the execution of that was good. I thought the way they played up the drama up, it was very good. The match wasn't as good as I would have hoped. But I thought it served its purpose. I thought it served its purpose to build to the night 2 main event. And I feel like the night 2 main event was even better because of the stuff they did on night 1.
Totally. They built to it. I think that the execution was great, but if they would have just sped up just a little bit, just like, you know.
Yeah,
they slow walk the dog into like everything. And it's like, I get it. The Rock's there. You don't want to be too crazy, but like, get to it, you guys.
Yeah, the match was so long, and I feel like there were so many spots where it was just like, it felt like not a lot was happening.
Right.
And I get it. You were supposed to, you're building up all the heel stuff. Rock using the belt and all this other stuff, the fight out into the crowds, and I was just like, man, get to it, man. Like, but yeah, the spots.
They're like, we are getting to it. Like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, but the spots that hit, man, like I said, that Cody Cutter to the frog splash, man, just the way that Rollins and Rhodes worked together, really cool stuff. Because at several points they were working so well, it's like they're gonna win this match, and then they did not. But yeah, it was. I thought it was cool for what it was. I thought that it made the night 2 main event even better. We opened night 2 with Seth Rollins. Well, sorry, I have to go back because important note. We opened night 2 with Stephanie McMahon. Did not think we would see Big Steph. And Steph came out and gave the speech of, I've been at every WrestleMania. I was sitting in the crowd at the first WrestleMania as an 8-year-old. And this is the best WrestleMania ever because this is the start of the Triple H era. Very much putting over the Paul Levesque era.
Jesus Christ.
There was a lot. And just that following Triple H opening night 1 and addressing the crowd, I was just like, oh, man, we get it. Vince McMahon is gone.
We got it.
Bro.
He's not here. He's not here, Phil. He's not back there at all.
He is gone. They're making it clear that we want to distance ourselves from Vince McMahon. And this is where Triple H wanted to be, where he thought he was going to be when he took over creative in 2022. He thought that heading into WrestleMania, this was going to be his coronation. This was going to be the buildup of him taking over. And
Bro said, I'm going to start the first night, and then you start the second night and tell them how cool I am.
yeah. And then he dropped that tweet afterwards of him saying, forever. And I was just like, this is a lot, bro.
He did forever. And then he did a reaction video. I'm like, all right, Triple H, bro, this rollout is crazy.
It was a lot. It was, but I feel you. You got your victory lap, and it is what it is. I mean, just judging by the way both nights started, the end of the show, him getting flowers again, opening the Raw as well. I'm just like, buddy, we are in the Triple H era, buddy.
Brother,
make no mistake about it.
He said, "Let me get like 5 more flowers, though. I'm gonna just start the show. Just one more,
just a few more. I know I got one bouquet over here, but just another one. It's cool. Another."
Sending your babe out there is crazy. Now my girl gonna go tell y'all about this.
Yeah, people thought those allegations of him being divorced, they very much quickly addressed that and said, no, we're still together forever.
Us?
Yeah.
No, not us. We're great.
Yeah.
She said, I've been to every WrestleMania, and this is the best.
This is the best. I'm not trying to talk about my dad at all. Y'all, we're not trying to hear none of that, man. Like, get him up out of here. But yeah. Then we opened the night with my guy Seth Rollins coming out. Was one of my favorite entrances of the weekend. Him getting his parade that I feel like he deserved as champion, of him getting his moment of saying, like, this is what I wanted. I wanted to come into WrestleMania as champion. I had to go through a lot. I had to fight through you guys' slander when I was injured. But we're here. Got his progression down to the ring. And he lost his belt.
Yeah, he did.
And I mean, I expected him to lose because that's the story. But I thought everything that they did building up to it, I thought his participation in the main event the night before where he got slammed through the barricade, I was like, oh, man, you got a match tomorrow. And then he happened to have the first match of the night.
Main event of the first night, first match of the second night. Like, all the story is there for him to lose this championship.
But yeah, him coming out with the mummers and doing the parade, I thought that was really, really cool. And the crowd was very much into it. They were very much into him. It was just, I feel like his babyface run, the failed one, I feel like it was all worth it to get back to this moment where people were happy and excited for him again, because it was looking rough for my guy for a long time. This guy is very much over now. Like, if anybody still doesn't see that, you're just wrong. The guy is super over. And I thought him and Drew had a very good match. I thought all 3 of their matches during this run has been good, but this one, I feel like their second match is probably a little bit better, but this was a very good match.
This one was a little bit more story driven. They were trying to implicate Punk into a lot of it. And so I think for what they were leading to, this match did exactly what it needed to do. I think that Seth's best role, I think the last year, is putting everyone over, honestly, because look how many, look at everyone who's got over kind of like being attached to him. And like, top stars don't put over his people as much as Rollins does. That's one thing. If you don't want to give this guy any credit, one thing you do got to give him credit for is he helped to get a lot of people over.
This is one of the things that people disagreed with me at one point, because I said he's the best heel in the company at one point, because he put a bunch of people over, man. And almost everybody he put over ended up getting a world title shot. And I think just over the last few years, he's done more to put guys over than most of the top stars in the company, man. And I thought Drew came out of this looking great.
They're like Roman Reigns has lost one time in the last 5 years or something like that. And like, how many times has Rollins lost to help somebody?
Exactly. And then the only guy that Rollins lost to in a singles match was Seth.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I thought the match was good. I thought the ending of Rollins being upset that like this is everything he worked for and he got here, but it was worth it because he helped him get his moment too, and he told him, he was like, you deserve it. And that was supposed to be the thing that Drew in character accepted and just had his moment, because this is what he wanted, getting to have his WrestleMania moment, winning a title in front of a crowd. This is what he has been grinding and saying he deserves. But in true heel hypocrite fashion, he couldn't just let it go.
Nope.
CM Punk was on commentary, and he had to rub his nose in it, that this was your spot. I took your spot. I thought the back and forth for them was hot. I thought coming out of the announcement that they were going to air the footage, and of course Punk had his chip on his shoulder, and he was like, yeah, this is your moment. If this is your moment, then why are you making it about me? And I was like, points were made, but you know, and so I thought leading all of that into him ripping his brace off and saying he was back and attacking him, I thought all that stuff was good. We got the meme of the Judgment Day music hitting and him turning around shocked. I thought that was really funny. And I thought the cash in was executed really well. I was predicting a cash in. I just thought it was going to go different. I thought the way they did it actually ended up going really well. I thought it was better than what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, I was worried about Priest because we've heard so many stories since he's gotten the briefcase. It's like he's not going to cash in. If he does, it's failed. Why didn't he cash in at this moment? Like all of these things, and I think it worked. Like them not executing a little bit earlier. Like this is probably as perfect as you could get, especially for Priest. Like it's attached to CM Punk and Drew McIntyre fighting. Like it's attached to all these stories and all these things, and then you get to have a huge win at WrestleMania 40 to start the show. Like, I mean, couldn't get it any better than that as far as cash-ins go, I would say.
Yeah, I think that they wrapped up a lot of things in this opening segment well. You gave Rollins his moment of being able to have like this big victory lap of everything he achieved coming into this weekend. Even though he lost, and then you gave Drew his moment, and then you found a way to factor Punk in and give him like some kind of action. He didn't get a match, but this was at least some way for him to factor into WrestleMania. And then you gave Damian his cash in. So I thought that they wrapped up a lot of things in one moment. I thought all of it ended up coming off really well.
I thought the show.
Yeah, I thought the chokeslam he hit on Drew looked incredible too. I was like, wow. Yeah, but man, happy for Damian. I was not sure if he was going to successfully cash in, but
I think last week on the show we thought that he would cash in, but Drew was just going to beat him.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought for a long time he was just going to have an unsuccessful cash in. Glad I'm wrong about that.
Me too.
But yeah, this was great. Great cash in. It's been a while since we've had a really, really good cash in.
I know.
Yeah, I think it fit in as well with the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania, having cash in. Money in the Bank used to be a WrestleMania match, and then you had two people linked in it that had, iconic cash ins and Punk and Rollins. So I thought that was a good callback.
Yeah, really good callback.
We got the Pride versus Final Testament, which, to be honest with you, I don't remember much of what happened in this match. It was just kind of there. I remember that I got up to go to the bathroom and I came back and I was looking at the match and I was like, wait, what is Bubba Ray doing here? Why is he in the ring? Where did he come from?
Yeah, it started off kind of weird, but Snoop being on commentary is definitely the highlight of this match. I was like, as soon as Bubba Ray came, I was like, okay, I don't care about this. And they were like, oh no, Snoop's going to be on commentary. I was like, okay, I'll tune in. And he was exactly as great as you would expect it to be. Like every moment that was going to be a Snoop moment was a Snoop moment. But as far as the match going into it, I still hate everybody's team names. I still hate, you know what I mean? Like there's just a lot that's like, all right, but I thought there was some fun stuff in here. They had some plunder.
Yeah, I couldn't hear Snoop's commentary in the building.
Right.
So I took your word for it. But when people were talking about how good his commentary was, I was like, yeah, remember when he did the Triller fight and how great he was on commentary then? So I'm not shocked by that. He's a character. He's great at this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. Of course, the Pride picked up the win. Hopefully they're finally done with Final Testament. Get Bobby Lashley into the world title picture. The other takeaway is, man, what a glow up for B-Fab. It was really cool to see her with them. She looked great. The four of them looked great together, man. So happy that she's landed on her feet. At one point, we was worried.
Yeah, I know. Like, she used to be part of another team, and like, we weren't gonna get a WrestleMania moment on that team.
Yeah, she's the only one out of them that was on the WrestleMania stage. So good for her.
Really good for her.
We got LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I thought that this was good. Go figure. I was trying to think about it, like AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably his second best the best match at WrestleMania.
I think so.
It still like pains me to say that the Shane match is probably his best WrestleMania match, but it is.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. It's a sick thing to think about. But yeah, I thought that this LA Knight match was really fun. LA Knight has been waiting for a moment, I thought, and like not being in a title match probably, felt a little bit weird, but being able to be in there with the wrestlers such as AJ Styles just gets you a leg up. And I thought they executed in getting to have a one-on-one match. They had some heat behind it. They had some angles coming into it. And for a match that previously kind of had no stakes, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought they did a very good job of building the match, because at one point I was like, I don't know, man. This matchup is what it is. But then AJ flew to Australia and turned up the heat on him, got into a scuffle in the media day, went to his house, and we got that grainy cop footage of them fighting.
What'd you think of AJ Styles' new theme?
I got to hear it again. I think it fits him as a heel, but I got to hear it again.
They don't want none.
Definitely gonna miss his original theme.
Yeah,
but
what a time. But yeah, good for them getting a one-on-one match. Like, it's rare when there's not title implications or stakes like that a feud like this will get one-on-one. They love to do tag matches or multi-man matches. So for them to get a one-on-one match on a big WrestleMania show is dope.
Yeah, good for LA Knight. That's a big opponent for him, a big match for him on that stage. I was wondering how they were going to pay off the year he had if you're not going to put a title on him. But I think getting this kind of match there and getting a W, that's big for him.
Right.
So good for him. We got Logan Paul taking on Kevin Owens and Randy Orton for the United States Championship. Most of the fun spots in this that are memorable is, of course, Randy Orton kicking the shit out of I Show Speed. And every time I see it, bro, I'm like, bro, he kicked him like he was really mad, bro.
Yeah,
he kicked him so hard, man.
I Show Speed, I have no idea who this person is, but when he came in and the energy that he's giving up Randy, like you can see Randy keep like growing, getting angrier, because like he's like trying to be like, all right, we're gonna do the spot, dude, chill. But the I Show Speed is just he's like fuck, he's like cussing and stuff. Like Randy's like, we're not supposed to doing this, and like the way that Randy kicks this man and the cap falls off of his head and everything, I cried.
Then slammed him super hard on the table. Okay, he just planted face first. I was like, oh my God, dude.
RKO's hurt, and on the table that doesn't move. Like, I think he put some force into this one.
Yeah. I Show Speed's a streamer, if you don't know. I know he does like that's the world where streamers now are like basically celebrities. Like that's how Kai Cenat guy is everywhere. But yeah, I mean, I had to take a double take. I was like, who is this guy? And then I was like, oh, it's that guy. But that's the same guy. He lit a big fireworks in his bedroom. I don't know if you've seen it.
That's
that guy.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, he lit the Pikachu fireworks thing in his room. Yeah, it's that guy.
Kids these days, I don't know what the game is.
Man, I mean, Logan Paul picked up the win here. Wasn't really one of my favorite matches of the weekend, but it was entertaining.
It was okay.
I think I speak for both of us when I say that the women's title match was my favorite. I thought the Io versus Bayley was incredible. I was really happy for Bayley that she got her moment. Finally got a singles match, got the big W, and this match was really, really good.
Yeah. Yes, you do speak for the both of us. This is probably my favorite match of the whole WrestleMania show. The way that these two women, we kind of knew it. Like, I see Io's been in WWE for a while, but I still don't feel like she is at 100%. Like everything that she's shown, she's been like maybe 60%, 70% as a whole, but we still haven't seen full capacity. And I think this match was like, if I went full capacity, I could be the best woman wrestler here far and away if I wanted to. And I thought that Bayley has, coming into this, we talked about how important Bayley was to the women's division in WWE as a whole and what she represents. And it was so important for her to get a big moment like this. Semi-main event of this 2-night WrestleMania. The big main event is about to happen. She has fought day and night to get representation in this division. She's fought day and night to get a singles match on WrestleMania. There's been WrestleManias that have happened where she's an active competitor, where she's not featured or she's not in this. So like her being able to get this big moment, she got the big entrance with the boys carrying her out there. She got the big video package with the Paramore connections. She got everything good leading into this match. And so all of that I was excited for. And then the bell rang, and then it was like, oh, no, this match is one of the best matches that I've seen all weekend. The counters in this, the strikes, the pacing, the timing, like everything about what these two women did, I think was super important. People were like, oh, they could have used a little bit more time. Like, no, I think I like just the amount of time that they did. The Rose Plant counter was one of the best things of the whole weekend in any promotion. Great. Like, this is just such a great match.
Yeah, Io is one of those wrestlers where I think people forget just how good she is.
People forget,
and then she had like an incredible run with Stardom, the ace of that company. And
the company was built around her, dude.
Yes, and so I've been waiting for her to have her big WrestleMania moment, and this was it. Her entrance was great. I thought her new Tron was really cool. Having Damage Control behind her, and again, just the fact that the four of them are still like such a big fixture, I thought that was cool. But yeah, like you said, the package for it was really cool. Getting the Paramore joint, getting Hayley Williams' record from her solo album on there was really cool. And I know that's specifically the record that Bayley wanted to come out to. So really cool that she got a chance to have that at least as a part of the video package. But you're right, Bayley's one of those wrestlers that it feels like she's always been kind of like always the bridesmaid and not the bride.
Yep.
Like she's been in so many moments where it feels like, she was overshadowed by somebody else. Yeah, she's had WrestleMania moments. Like she's defended the belt at WrestleMania in a multi-women's match. She's had the tag titles match at WrestleMania. But this was like her first like major feud going into WrestleMania where this was like her moment.
Yep.
Winning a Royal Rumble and everything coming into it. So I was really happy for her. I think she, out of 4 horsewomen, she was kind of the last one that didn't get one of these big matches. And I think that year coming out of the pandemic and how much being in the Thunderdome helped her character, and then she got to end up and didn't have a match, that was really disappointing. And then she got injured and she spent all that time out.
Come on.
It just really felt like this was long overdue. So yeah, I was really happy for her, and the match was very, very good. Like you said, I think if this was just her getting her moment and we were just excited about her winning the belt, but on top of the match was really good too.
Yep.
I still don't know how I feel about the new theme. I was laughing. Somebody behind me was like, "Oh, Bayley's Egyptian now," and I was like, I guess
she could be. I don't know her 23andMe.
I don't know, man. I don't know. She might be, but I don't know how I feel about the new theme song, but I thought it was a big moment for her. So happy for her. Super happy for Bayley.
Yeah, like I said, great opportunity in that spot and execution. Bayley did it. Very excited for her. Bay Area.
Yeah, and prime to who we know Bayley is. She did the press conference afterwards. It put somebody else over. Wore another wrestler's shirt.
Come on.
I mean, come on. Just taking that moment and helping an indie wrestler get over as well. Like that's just why Bailey is Bailey, man.
It's so fitting. Like this moment like Bailey took her moment where she could have just been like, I'm the coolest, I did all this, to put someone else over. Like so fitting. Like of course she would do that.
Yeah. It was Jada Stone. That's
Jada
the
Stone.
shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out to Jada Stone.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. And just seeing her fan over it as well, just seeing like her story of saying that she was a big Bailey and Sasha fan, and that's the thing that got her inspired to wrestle. And then you've got this person that inspired you to wrestle during her biggest moment of her career, hyping you up. So
Come
cool.
on, dude. That's insane.
That's so cool.
I love that. That's what pro wrestling is all about. And Bailey she deserves the world. She's so cool.
Yeah. Main event was Cody Rhodes taking on Roman. A Bloodline Rules match. Still don't know what Bloodline Rules actually means. What are the rules stuff? It just kind of seems like it's a no DQ match.
That's it.
I guess. But this was great. I thought that I was worried going into this. I was like, man, if we worked the same pace as we worked yesterday, man.
I was about to turn it off. I was very nervous about it.
This isn't gonna do it for me. But I thought that this was really good. I thought Cody's interest was great. Coming out with Brandy, I was like, oh, we're back, man. The feeling is back. He had the big skull mask on. I thought his Tron and everything was cool. Roman's interest was great. It felt like a big deal. It made him feel like this big final boss to overcome.
Yeah.
And I thought the pace in the match was very good. I thought compared to the match beforehand, this was much, much better.
Way different. Yeah, I knew as soon as Big Brand came out on stage, I was like, oh, we're off. We're lit. We're off to the races. We're good here. Cody can't lose with Brand in his corner. That's why he lost last year, because Brandy wasn't here. Like the one thing that you were missing last year was Big Brand being out there to show you off, and that's exactly what happened here. I loved the pacing was a lot better. There was that point where I was like, I don't know, you guys, we might be getting into the shenanigans in not a good way. But I love that Cody uses the crossroads as kind of like a super finisher in this, where he has to hit 3. It's not one crossroad to win, it's 3. And they played into that story of he hits 2 and then somebody comes. He hits 2 and then somebody interferes. He hits 2 and then somebody interferes. But then in the end, he hit 3 and that was the win. Like just such a culmination, such a moment. We've talked on this podcast ad nauseum at this point about this moment, about this win, about what moments should have happened, what moments shouldn't have happened, if Cody should finish the story. Cody finished the story, Phil, and it felt so good. I let out the biggest sigh of relief I've never been so just satisfied with a wrestling match. It's like, you guys just made the right choice. You didn't try to do anything dumb. No spins, no let's go for next year. No, just give this guy the big win. His family's there at the end. When he handed the belt to Mama Rhodes, I'm like, all right, get me out of here. Take me somewhere.
Yeah. I think all of the emotional notes hit the way they were supposed to. I thought all the story stuff that they did in the match hit the way it was supposed to. Roman at one point hitting the crossroads to try and beat Cody, and then looking at the camera, and he's just like, of course that didn't win. That move doesn't beat anybody. Move sucks.
Really good stuff. Roman, and of course, not for nothing, dude did it. Like, you are in the annals of history off of everything that you did. And Cody needed the huge, like you said, final boss, the villain, even though The Rock's using that. He needed this big villain to overcome. And Roman Reigns is the only one that it could have been in this situation. And it wouldn't have hit as hard if Cody had beat anybody else. And this situation would not have worked without Roman Reigns. So shout out to Roman. We be talking about vacations and all this, but like, really, dog, like, I hope that you like go home and don't think about wrestling and you're just kicking it with your family and your wife and having a great time, because you did it, bro. You earned it. Whatever comes after this is like just a cherry on top.
Yeah. I really liked just how they built up to the ending sequences of it, because yeah, like I said, we didn't know what the match was going to be. It pretty much was a no DQ match. I mean,
right.
we got some like hardcore spots here and there. Cody tried to pull out a table. Roman healed it up, and it's like, no table.
Yeah. I like that. I did like that spot.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny. The crowd getting into the "We Want Table" stuff, and Roman looking straight at everybody like, "No, no tables." So I thought that Roman played his role very well as a heel here. I thought that he came off looking great. I thought with all the history going into WrestleMania and what he represented for WrestleMania for the last few years, 9 WrestleMania main events.
9 main events.
Now holds the record.
Big dog.
And what that means for him, and just like what that means for Cody coming in and beating that guy. I thought that they put that over really, really well.
At the end of this, Phil, though, I know you were thinking the same thing I was thinking. Where's Jacob?
Where's Jacob?
Where's Jacob? The bro was so hurt, man. The bro was really hurt. Where's Jacob? He needs to come and fix this. Now, I just love all the emotions attached to this story, Phil. It's been a long time, man. Like last year, remember the reception after last year where we were just like groaning, like that was such a bad idea. But they actually did it. They actually executed. Cody Rhodes is your WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, and like well deserved. Like throughout the week, he started both of the shows this week, and it's like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. He's the world champion. Like, how did we take so long to get here? But I'm happy we took so long to get here. I think the execution of this and everything that happened hit a lot harder, even with it. I guess they were right, Phil. He needed more adversity.
I still don't know if I believe he needed more adversity, but I thought that this was a great culmination of his storyline from last year coming into this year, winning the Royal Rumble again to get back to his top spot, and then having to get to all of these obstacles, having to get through The Rock, and along the way, all of these people going like, "Hey, man, we don't have to keep letting this guy cheat. We don't have to keep standing by and doing this." I think quickly taking Jimmy off the field with Jay coming in with his cameo was great. Then we, of course, got the Cena cameo. Boy, that pop for Cena was, that was insane. In the building, that pop for Cena was fire.
Listen, Phil, on video, on tape, me watching it, crazy, insane. Like, I was like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine what it was like in person, because on camera, it's one of the craziest pops I ever heard.
That pop was crazy. And I mean, also just having the continuity of the guy that took Cena out. When Solo showed back up, the guy that showed up to help Cody against him was Cena. And I thought that made a lot of sense. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. That's right. He has a reason to still be upset with Solo Sikoa and Roman. So, yeah, that tie-in was great.
And we got some news this week. We had some theories about this Undertaker run-in. Like, you had a good theory. You thought that potentially that could have been one Brock Lesnar in that spot to come and try to interfere there. But there's been a couple of things that come out that said that actually was going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin in that spot, and they just couldn't come to a financial
I don't know how you don't just pay
deal.
him. I know you just don't pay him.
How the fuck do you? How does this happen, Phil? How do you not pay Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I think that it might have been moved around, but I still think Brock was supposed to play a part in this in his whole way. Because
I would think so.
When you look at all of the stories that culminated in this with Cody and all the people that had interactions with Cody, they were the ones that helped him win. He had a 3-match feud with Brock Lesnar, and a big part of it was that he didn't want to give up his spot to Cody because he wanted to be the guy to beat Roman. He has all this history with Roman, and him losing and endorsing Cody was a big part of 2023 for him. So it did feel kind of like, all right, Brock's supposed to factor into this in some way. But of course, we're probably not going to see Brock Lesnar for a long time because obvious reasons. But yeah, putting Undertaker in here, it was cool to see Undertaker, but it did not hit the same as probably seeing Stone Cold or Brock, man. Stone Cold coming in and stunning Rock in the main event.
Stone Cold stunning The Rock at WrestleMania 40, Phil, would have been insane.
Bro, that crowd would have been out of here. It was already out of here, but Austin showing up and stunning Rock.
That Cena pop, bro. And then if Austin would have showed up and stunned The Rock, people would have cried.
Yeah. Glad,
Maybe the wrestling gods are like, all right, we're executing we can't execute all the way. Like we got to have
Bro.
one thing that's off here.
that glass would have broken. We would have heard Rock, and Rock would have been like staring around like he saw a ghost and got stunned. That would have been
Stone Cold Steve Austin, I would have let you. I wouldn't even have given him his 4-wheeler. Like, just let him walk, because you could imagine Stone Cold walking down WrestleMania 40 to get to The Rock. That shit would have been nuts. How do you not give him all the money that you have in your wallet? What's going on here? There's no way this deal should have been screwed up at any point.
man.
Stone
I don't
Cold.
know. I don't know what happened, but I really hope it's not just the financial stuff because you just pay him. Like I don't understand.
I
But
built part of this house. How do you give me the money? What do you mean?
the other big confusion at one point, we got the Shield theme song, and for some reason, like even I thought at one point I was like, did they get Mox? That doesn't make sense. But I was like, it had to be Seth. But I was like, wait, Shield.
That doesn't make sense.
But yeah, the Shield theme came on. They got the big pop for the Shield and what Shield
Yep.
has meant for this company for the last few years.
Mhm.
And Seth trying to play the mind games again. I thought it was a very good story note for him to try and sneak in behind the Rock and hit him with the chair, a la what he did to Roman. But because Roman has been obsessing over this moment for most of his career, he was waiting for it. When Rock was looking around, waiting for him to come from the fort, Roman, because he knows this guy at this point, was like, no, he's going to come behind us. And he
Not
speared
today.
him immediately. Yeah. I saw people that said this made Seth look like a loser and an idiot. And I was like, no, this was prime storytelling of Roman had obsessed over this moment, so he knew what he was going to do. And then on top of that, this is a guy that wrestled 2 matches this weekend. He was exhausted. He was just coming in because he thought he was going to get that chair shot in. And when he got hit, he was out of there. Like people were like, that hit shouldn't have laid him out like that. He wrestled 2 matches.
And he was like taking the bullet for Seth Rollins, for Cody Rhodes, essentially,
Yeah, so I thought that was
which
great.
plays into the story also.
Yeah, and I thought the finish was great. I thought the finish of in that moment, because a big part of what made Roman a heel, what made him the tribal chief, and what caused the start of the bloodline was the Shield and being betrayed by Rollins. He had never gotten over that. The whole idea of the bloodline was him going, I'm going to start my own faction, and I'm gonna surround myself with family because they never betray me. They wouldn't do to me like what he would do to me. So it's just this idea that he had never gotten over this. And so in that moment, when he could have just smashed Cody with that chair and won the match, Rollins was there and he just couldn't pass up his moment for revenge. And he hit him with the chair again. I loved it. I loved the call back to the Shield lore. I loved the call back to the finish of the Royal Rumble match 2 years ago. I still don't think it justifies not giving him the rematch and the disqualification, but I thought it was a very good callback. I thought all of the stuff with Seth was really good as well. But that moment leading to him distracting him long enough for Cody to get the win, really, really good finish, really smart finish. I have taken my flowers. I've taken my victory lap a few times on Twitter, but it's okay to say I was right, guys. Because I told you guys that Seth Rollins' character arc was going somewhere. You guys did not believe me. I had to keep hearing, oh, he's going to turn on Roman. And I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. That's not the story. He told you what the story was. He cut the promo and said, I'll be your shield. This is my fault. I created this monster. And I'm going to take that hit for the team so that you don't have to pay for my mistakes. And that's exactly what he did. Such a great moment. And just everything that led to this. Cody and Rollins feud when Cody first got there. All of that leading to Cody getting his moment. And right afterwards, he shook Rollins' hand. And he said, and it looked like Rollins was saying, all right, I'm gonna hold you to a title match. And it's just such a good moment, man.
Now they can feud over that belt since Cody didn't want that other one.
No, he definitely did not want it. But yeah, just all of this stuff happened, and I was just like, man. It was so many people on the timeline. They were like, man, we might have to really give Seth his flowers. And I was just looking around like, I tried to tell you guys. I don't know why you wouldn't listen to me.
You got to get 2 bouquets is what you're saying for Seth and for you. We need two bouquets if y'all giving out flowers.
Bro, but yeah, what a great moment. I think in terms of character arcs coming into this year, Seth Rollins had one of the best character arcs this year. He did not win the match, either of his matches, but I thought he came away from this looking like a massive star. I thought this was the peak of his babyface turn. When he does come back, this guy's going to be massively over.
Hey, if you got to lose, main eventing against The Rock and then starting the second night against Drew, I'd take that. That's a pretty good way to lose. And then it's still and factoring into the main event too. Like, I mean, that's a lot. I think he did it.
Yeah. Really, really good. I thought the way they closed the night as well, with all of the babyface coming down to celebrate with Cody getting lifted up by by Randy. I mean, I thought it made sense all the guys they choose to have in there. Cena, Orton, and how much Cody has said that Orton means to him as a mentor, and how he said, I think it was a press conference for Survivor Series when he was saying that watching him win one year at WrestleMania and watching him get his moment, he was like, I want to do that one day. That's why I want to wrestle. I want to get what he got. And so seeing him get the win and Randy was in the ring with him, so cool. Did not expect to see CM Punk in there as well, but this is the weird timeline we're in where we got a place where Cody went away and proved himself to be this big, massive star, bet on himself huge, went smashed the throne in the middle of this, and the guy that he was throwing shots on raised his hand at WrestleMania, pointed at him, and said he's the guy. This is where we are. I don't know. What a weird timeline.
Yeah, when him and Triple H shook hands and hugged, I was like, this is weird.
Wild. But what a great end to the night. I would go as far to say it's possibly the best end of WrestleMania of all time. I don't think that's a stretch. I think, like, in terms of, like, I wouldn't say that that's the best WrestleMania main event, but in terms of ending, I think it's one of the best endings we've ever seen at WrestleMania.
Definitely one of the best in WWE with the stories that they tell and culmination. Like, it's hard to say anything is better than this. Like, personally, WrestleMania 30 with Bryan Danielson for me, but I understand, like, Cody, this story is huge. Like, this is one of the definitely top 5 their stories they've ever told. So
yeah, of course, Redacted and Eddie in the ring at the end of that WrestleMania.
Good, really good one.
But I think that this is probably my favorite at this point.
Totally, definitely of this generation.
Yeah,
really
I loved it. I loved everything about it. I was like, they did it. They stuck the landing. Cody is your champion. Yeah.
I was nervous for a minute there. I'm like, they might not stick the landing. They stuck the landing.
Yeah, Cody showing up on Raw the next night. Super duper hot. That segment went so long now. I didn't know why the segment had to be that long. You made the point of promoting this as an hour of commercial-free wrestling, and we got no wrestling. We got maybe one match.
I was nervous, Phil, when they were like, because after the last words of the show were Michael Cole being like, I love professional wrestling. And I'm like, all right, you guys, yeah. We're cool. I was like, I'll listen to you. And then I watched Raw and I was like, you lied to me. But then I watched SmackDown. And I was like, all right, okay. I see it. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the energy in the arena for Rock and Cody was cool. It very much seems like we're getting Rock versus Cody at some point. I gathered that was the reasoning for why Rock was the one that pinned Cody on night 1, so you could tie that back in. But that segment went on way too long.
So long.
And I mean, it was cool. The crowd was giving it up. Rock was getting a ton of heat. It very much felt like it felt in some ways like Roman beating the streak and then coming the Raw after Mania and getting booed out of the building. That crowd was letting Rock have it, and he was eating it up. All of that was great, but the rest of that show just really kind of dragged as well. It just didn't really hit for me. But we talked about it a little bit on Ask Grapsody. Rock handed Cody something, and Cody immediately put it in his pocket. We don't know what that is. I have to assume that this is leading to a match.
I mean, I hope it was a dime sack at least, at minimum.
Good
it's
time sack.
Like The Rock has a lot of money. Like it has to be like a nice little nug of that good. I would think at minimum.
Yeah, my theory is still that it's a poker chip.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the story of Cody going away and betting on himself, the motif of the poker chips with All In and Double or Nothing, and how that ties back to Cody. Rock's personal story of him betting on himself, and his production company is named $7 because he had $7 in his pocket. He bet on himself.
$7.
Yeah, and I think he slid him a poker chip to cash in later to say, "You owe me a title match.
I did this for you.
You owe me a moment."
Maybe it was. My theory is that it was keys to the kingdom until I come back to get them keys.
Keys. Keys makes a lot of sense.
You know, I got the keys.
I got the keys. But yeah, that was kind of really the only thing of real interest on Raw. I mean, we got
Which is crazy, huh?
we got the number one contenders match at the end, and Punk ending the night, but I mean, nothing else really did it for me. All of the real good stuff happened on SmackDown.
Yeah, that felt like the after Mania show of like something crazy could happen. There's new things. There's some different energy. That felt like more of that than the Raw did, because on Raw they debuted like Roxanne was there, Dragunov was there, but like they tied it so into the draft that it doesn't feel like they're like officially here. They're like, these people are here, but the draft is coming up, so they're not like officially anything. So it didn't feel like as fresh. SmackDown felt like this is what SmackDown's gonna be. We're gonna give up this energy going into the future.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Dragunov showed up and they let us know that Dragunov is declaring for the draft. But yeah, I wasn't expecting a very random Dragunov and Nakamura match. And I thought that match was good, but we got the very funny segment of Liv jumping Rhea backstage. I laughed very hard at that.
That's the one with the coins.
Yes, that's the one that people have put Sonic rings on and all the other things. But yeah, SmackDown was much better. I think even Cody's segment on SmackDown was better.
Yep.
He dropped the Brandy line, which I thought was hilarious. And he made it clear like he's like going forward what the story is. Who's his next contender going to be? So I felt like we were actually going somewhere. The Rock stuff, it feels like that's a long-term thing. We're not going to see the payoff for that for a while.
Right. Yeah, they're just like planting seeds for. Yeah. If it goes all the way to next year WrestleMania, that's a long time, but
it's a very long time. But yeah, we got the number one contender stuff. It seems like we're gonna get either AJ Styles or LA Knight coming out of this. I have to assume it's gonna be AJ Styles.
Yeah, I would think it's gonna be AJ.
That makes more sense to me. But we got the big debut of Tama Tonga, who is looking like he's the newest member of Bloodline. Still some mystery around what's he doing there, mystery around where Bloodline is going moving forward. We got the segment backstage where Heyman talked to Solo and he said losing should have consequences. And Solo clearly took that to heart because he said, man, losing had consequences. That guy lost.
Yep.
Let's jump him. he lost. Let's get him.
That's my brother. I love him, but also let's beat his ass.
Let's get him. So it sure looks like Jimmy is gotten jumped out of the group. It seems like there's been tension between Jimmy and Solo for a while. This was
be
finally
real cool if Jimmy had a brother to come help him with this. It would be great. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, in the midst of this beatdown segment, that's where Tama Tonga debuted to help Solo beat his brother down. Paul Heyman did his usual "I'm scared, I don't know why I'm here" act. That was funny. He tried to call Roman at one point, and Solo
that backstage segment. Heyman comes out of the locker room and he's like, "Oh, Jimmy's really beat up." And then Tama comes up and goes, "By orders of the tribal chief." And then Solo just shows him his thumb, and then he walks away. And Paul Heyman's like, "What does that even mean?"
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Does that mean that Solo is taking that spot and he's claiming himself as the tribal chief?
Right.
Interesting things. Roman was not there. Roman put put a video up this week of him on the treadmill because he's like, I mourned for the first day. Now this is day one of working my way back, which I thought was a very LeBron response.
Such a LeBron response. Just the same parallels, these guys.
Yeah, but I don't know where this is going, but I'm intrigued now that you've got Jacob Fatu. That's now also a piece on the board. I don't know where Jacob's gonna debut, but that sounds like a pretty cool faction. Jacob and Solo and Tama Tonga. I'd be here for it.
Bloodline. That bloodline is continuing. I think it could have some different energy though if we approach this in a different way. What's Roman gonna play into this when he comes back? What's everything? What are the Usos playing in this? I think it has some legs with these new additions to it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's very possible that all of these guys are doing things on order for somebody else. Maybe this is The Rock's call. Maybe
also, didn't think about that.
Maybe The Rock told Solo to do that, and maybe The Rock is the one that's adding new members. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued for where this is going to go. I think that a lot of the stuff that they build up on SmackDown, I'm interested in. They, of course, also moved forward with Bianca and Jade as a tag team now. Interested to see how long they can last, how long they can coexist.
We'll see. They might stretch it.
But yeah, this was a strong episode of SmackDown. I got up and watched it early this morning because I didn't see it last night. But I was like, man, this was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it. I actually watched the whole thing, and I thought the last triple threat match hit really hard. AJ, somebody was saying on here, is AJ, maybe that's a super chat, is AJ. Oh yeah, it's coming up. Actually could get right into that super chat. Easy Breezy says, do y'all consider AJ Styles one of the best triple threat wrestlers ever? Unbreakable 2005 was my favorite triple threat match ever, but last night shows he can still perform well in triple threat match. Also, keep up the great work. Thank you, Easy Breezy. Very generous and cool super chat. But yeah, AJ Styles is incredible when it comes to triple threat match. In the match last night with Ray Jr. and Kevin Owens, you got some great partners in there, but at one point, they really start cooking. The crowd was super into it. And I was like, yo, things are really happening here. This is dope. I would consider best ever. I'd have to really look at the list, but he top 5 at least. Top 5, yeah. But yeah, really strong SmackDown, I thought. Cody's I like Cody's thing in this better because it just felt like I'm the champion now. We're gonna get kickstarted instead of I'm the champion. The Rock's gonna potentially beat me. They're bidding some contenders. Him and AJ Styles in France could be really dope. I think so. Yeah, I think there's some good stuff happening.
Yeah, you can build it up around. AJ is the last wrestler to win the WWE Championship on international soil.
True. Yeah, that is a good story to tell. I didn't think about that. Nice. That's coming up really quick, too. A couple weeks from here. Let's get into a few super chats and hyper chats before we get up out of here. We've been here for a long time. Lab Glass says, if WrestleMania is in Minnesota, check out Nerdy, musician, rapper, and wrestling enthusiast. I'll definitely check out Nerdy if they're in Minnesota. That has been the kind of weird thing about WrestleMania weekend is usually we get some kind of announcement or something during the show. Usually when WrestleMania is over, we know what the next thing is. They didn't say anything during the show. They didn't say anything during the press conferences. Raw and SmackDown, they haven't announced it. So I don't know. Sal Cruz says, LOL, Drake break down real bad when he saw that video of Braun and warm-ups dropping the Kendrick verse from that. Yeah, bro. This is a man that went on this guy's show and says, I don't want to disappoint you. So I'm sure.
Bro, I've heard this song a lot outside. If people thought this was just going to go away, no, this song has been played a lot.
Phil, I hear that song every single time I go outside. I hear that song. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Rovan F2 says Cyclops is a cop slander when Wolverine is right there.
Yeah, no, I'm not going for no Cyclops slander.
Stephen Marcusili says, it seems Bloodline Civil War is coming. Roman Usos as the faces with one more family member versus Rock, Solo, Tonga, and Fatu. In games, Rock versus Roman.
Yeah, I can see that.
You still think they're building towards Rock versus Roman? We still think we're going to get that one-on-one?
Yeah, I think eventually we will see that one.
Delayed Grat says, even hotter take. You three are the best thing on Frightful. Only watch on Wednesdays because of Reg and something random about CM Punk because we're obligated to mention him every other week.
Appreciate that, I guess.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know.
I can't get involved into the shade but yeah, I'd like. Thank you.
All right.
Van Twinblade with a very generous super chat. Appreciate that, Van Twinblade. Pappy's Barbecue is a 10-minute walk from the arena and it's one of the best joints in the city. Also, you got to get a gooey butter cake to kill that sweet tooth. Also, Ravs play. Every place has them, but there's some other Rays. Is it Ravs? Ravs play. Every place has them, but there are some better than others. Yes, Van Twinblade is connected to St. Louis. That's what he's talking about with this show coming up. Shout out to Glory Pro, who hopefully gets something off of this. But yeah, I want to go there and eat barbecue. I'm jealous. Yep. Corey David says Obafemi is the future of WWE. Give him all the titles. Put the title on the nigga.
Yeah, shout out to Obafemi. Sounds like he had a great weekend as well.
Yeah, he's that spot that he did with the on the shoulders, double whatever, that shit was crazy. Corey also says, y'all see Seth staying or testing the waters?
I think he's staying.
Yeah, I would think he's gonna stay. I couldn't see him going anywhere.
But it all depends on what Becky's gonna do.
Right.
But I think he's staying, if I had to guess. I'm just good. Take some time off. Like I saw that report where he's gonna take at minimum a month off. Yeah, take some time off. I think his contract's up in June.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, take some time off, bro. Will Chisholm says, I saw Javion Evans on NXT. That kid is crazy good. And I see when NXT moves to CW, I see the NXT having Roxanne and Julia as leaders of the women's division.
Maybe. Is Roxanne moving up?
I would think so. It felt like that's what they were alluding to this Monday. And I think she's ready to move up. I don't know as a heel, though, but we can talk about that another time. Will Chisholm says, what was Mark Henry mad for? EO, there was an entrance during WrestleMania with the big three, and he feels like EO didn't get out in enough time to give them their moment.
It was Kyrie, wasn't it? It was Kyrie.
Oh, was it Kyrie? Yeah, it was Kyrie. Sorry, EO's in the match. Kyrie didn't give them the amount of time to pose, even though the ref. It's like if you watch it, you'll be like as much as confused as we are, pretty much.
I didn't understand why he was so upset about that.
Yeah. Stupid. Broadway Joe said, I said he couldn't save Jack. Turns him into a bigger star than Cody. Not even joking. He is a bigger star today than the WWE champion. TK is goated.
That's definitely a take. I don't know if I would say he's hotter than Cody. I think we gotta calm down. He had a very good reaction, but let's calm down.
Broadway Joe also says they put up all the Vince remaining shares for sale yesterday. He's gone this time. Oh man, he gave up all that money.
He is not coming back. That is definitely my takeaway from all of this.
Wow. I'm sure he's having such a horrible time with his $80 gazillion that he just made. Yeah. Jeffrey Sill says, shout out to the Cuban American Nightmare. WWE has 3 Hispanic champions. Hey, the facts are the facts. Facts are the facts.
Cuban American Nightmare. Wow.
With his black stepdaddy. Will Chisholm also says seeing Rossi with the WrestleMania Hosier on was just nasty. Come out and say he wants to work with WWE. Now, Rossi with all of his WrestleMania gear, he had the hat, he had the sweater, he had the lanyard. Like
outside, bro.
He got his swag. He wasn't gonna let nobody go without his swag. Dex Baker says, I'm not that big on the Shield as the GOAT camp, but look at the 7 days those 3 men just had.
Yeah. Wow.
Nobody does it like these guys.
What a week for Shield members. Roman going into this historic title reign coming to an end, breaking Hogan's record for main event appearances. Seth Rollins getting to complete his character arc, and then Mox winning a championship. Yeah, them guys run wressling, bro.
Yeah, and they run the industry. They are the heads of this industry, honestly. And then our last super chat of the day, Will Chisholm says, seeing Nick Khan at Bloodsport was funny. There's a lot of stuff going on last weekend that I was like, what's happening? And that was one of them. Nick Khan backstage at Bloodsport is like, what's going on with Blood? And then this week on NXT, Charlie Dempsey, who of course was a part of Bloodsport, mentioned Bloodsport on TV on the NXT show, was like, oh yeah, and I did Bloodsport and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what?
What a wild timeline, bro. God, what a wild timeline.
Such a wild timeline. And the last one's gonna be from Bergov. Thanks, Bergov. Says happy Grapsody Day. Damn, I was late, very late. It's over.
I was trying to find that Biggie tweet while you guys were sitting your super chats. It's just his update on his neck injury. He says, "Hey y'all, 2-year neck scan are in. Things are unchanged. My C1 are healed. My C1 is healed, fibrously, but has not formed new bone. I'm not medically cleared, and truthfully, I may never be cleared. I am blessed to be free of pain, immensely happy, and otherwise healthy. Life is good." Not exciting news if you want to see Big E wrestle again. I'm not sure if
I care about the second. I don't care about the wrestling part. I care about the second half of the part where he said, I'm happy and healthy and I don't feel pain. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I don't know if I would exactly close the door on him wrestling again, but if he feels comfortable in saying that this is it, I'm done wrestling, then I can do nothing but respect that. I'm happy for him, happy that he's pain free, happy that he seems like he's living a good life. Me and Reg saw him the last day in Philadelphia. That was a cool moment just to say hi to him.
On my bucket list of things was have a cover of a magazine, and the reason that I have the cover of a magazine, the cover story, is because of Big E. So I'm forever indebted to that man. Like he's forever gonna be a GOAT for me. And seeing him this weekend was awesome. Still so humble and amazing.
Yes.
And if this is it, you did it. And you should be proud of the career that you created. You created some amazing moments. New Day's one of, if not the greatest group in that company's history. So, like, you have so much to stand on, bro.
Yeah. If
Shout
this
out
is
to
it, what a great career. And like I said, glad that he's healthy and he's doing well. We've got a few more humper chats, and then we're gonna get out of here.
And he still looks like E. Like he's still huge. He's still like
incredible.
You know what I mean?
In amazing shape. Here we go. Got another one from Nelson Muntz. Did any of you see that Punk promo that he cut after WWE went off the air in Philly? He wanted people to chant his name, held the mic to the crowd when they did. That fool didn't even wrestle on the show and still needs those CM Punk chants. Pathetic. I did see it because I was there, so I did happen to see it. See, from New Lac City, what do you guys think of Ali's speech after his match? He's a real one out of Chicago. Also, with the Punk interview at WWE shot to AEW last week, the video and receipts were fine. Also, it played out perfectly with Perry's match in Chicago. Cold week. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I thought Ali's promo after the match was great. We got another one from New Lac City. He says, if y'all can make one trade that benefits both companies, what would you do? One male plus female trade for another male plus female. Taking bias aside, don't be biased like Meet Normus, LOL. If I could trade one... You said male plus female. I immediately know who my male would be. I would trade Ricky Starks for Finn Balor.
I was gonna say Ricky Starks too. That's really funny, but for Kevin Owens, of course.
Yeah, I trade Ricky for Finn Balor. On the female side, I would trade.
I'm
trying to think of somebody that I think would do really well from the women's division in WWE. I think Jay would have been the big one before this, where I imagine she could do well over there. Maybe Britt.
Yeah, it's mine is Britt. Yeah, it's Britt for Dakota. I think with the gloves off, Dakota could be one of the best, but you know, that's just me.
This is a terrible trade because it's not a fair trade at all for everybody involved. But considering like now you're getting to work with Stardom and just like the contentiousness and the chaos that could come of this. Britt for Asuka would be incredible. Asuka over there at AEW and Asuka having the matches with like Stardom wrestlers and like now you've got this relationship with Stardom and you got to figure out how to make that work with Asuka. I think that would be great, and I think
like
the matches would be heat.
Yeah, the matches would be insane. I was gonna say if it wasn't pretty much, I just looked down Damage Control. I'm like, Io, Asuka, Dakota. You know what I mean? Like
Io
any
would
of them,
also be Io
you
would be
know?
fire in AEW as well.
Yeah, totally. Like Io, all the people that Io could go against over there, heaters, nothing but heaters.
But yeah, that's a terrible trade. If WWE took that trade of Britt for Asuka, like, yeah, what are y'all doing? That's an awful trade.
I don't think everybody would think that though.
That is an awful trade, bro. Like, like,
Oh man.
I think that. Oh, we got one more. Sorry, two more from Nelson Muntz. It's such a good week as a diehard AEW fan, but now I've learned Rio posted on Insta that she has visa issues and doesn't know when she'll be back in AEW. Now I'm sad. I did not see that. That's unfortunate. Hopefully she gets that sorted out.
Yeah, I know some recently not even recently, just wrestlers are dealing with visa issues all the time. So hopefully it's not too crazy.
Last one from Nelson Muntz. He says, see you at the crossroads. How long does Cody try to rap? How long before Cody tries to rap Bones Legs and Harmony bars on Raw or SmackDown? LOL. I hope never. Don't ever try to do this, Cody. No.
He won this. He won this WrestleMania this year because he didn't do that Tupac thing like he did last year. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the more and more I think about it, Asuka over there, man. That would be some heat, bro.
Yeah.
Asuka versus Sheeta. Ooh, buddy. Ooh, buddy.
Kick him on fire.
We could get the Athena rematch and all this other stuff. Come on, bro.
Said that's a terrible trade.
It is a bad trade, though. It's a great trade for AEW.
Great AEW's killing it, but I ain't saying.
That's not a very equal 1-to-1 trade. But yeah, that is all of our Humper chats.
That's all it, guys.
All of our super chats. It has been great as
always. A lot of y'all that showed up to watch us, though. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's been great as always. Chatting up wrestling, chatting up upcoming events, current events with you guys. Appreciate Cresta as always for coming through for the first 2 hours. I don't know where she dropped into a portal and disappeared after that, but appreciate it as always. You can find her tonight reviewing Collision. I'm assuming with Iridian and Ricocchino. I saw both of them in Philly as well. Great people. But you know what this is. This has been Grapsody. I'm your favorite low talker, Phil Lindsey. Righteous Reg. We are out of here.